The third verse. The third verse.
Third verse morning show. It's Thursday morning. It's a morning on a Thursday. I'm Justin Hunt.
I'm your man, Stat Quo. Justin literally I don't even know if he went to sleep. This dude is a maniac. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy, dog.
It wasn't as bad as it normally is because I started timestamping during the live stream. That's usually the biggest part. It's like after Culture United, the next 2 hours I spend timestamping it. So people, when they watch it on Thursday morning, don't have to swim through these hours of conversation. But yesterday was efficient.
Bruh, I'm talking about I'm on the couch, I'm asleep. I still had it on because I fell asleep watching. And I'm looking at you and I'm like, live. It's 1:45. This dude tripping, man. Big tripping. I don't know what y'all was talking about, but man, you should have took your ass to bed.
I didn't wake up late. I had to run to the store. That's one of the things I got behind. I had to run to the store a second ago this morning. But it was a great show last night, man. It really was. We had a good time on there. The Super Bowl
Hitta.
was really interesting. Hitta.
Hey, yo, the funniest part to me is when you put that MAGA 6 up there holding the chain.
Yeah.
And Hitta was like, hold on, man, I feel like I've been set up. He said, hey, man, I'm from the South. I ain't with none of that, man. With none of that, man. He said, I'm from the South.
Hitta's a great guy, man. He's a great guy.
I rock with Hitta, dog. How you, man, he was really in his Iceman attire, dog. He had a white silk shirt on with a white fedora and shades on in the house, man. Huh?
He was festive. It's Iceman season, man.
He was ready, man.
Been waiting a long time for this.
He was ready, man. And that's the thing. That's why I was hitting him with certain things, and I know he really couldn't respond because it's clear that Drake has done something special for him and people like him. Because living in that community, he probably does a lot for the community and people that we don't see. So I understand why he's loyal to a fault, and he don't really want to say what he feels. But at the end, he started giving it up when I got off the stream. Like, this maybe not be one of his better things, when compared to some of his other work. So that's all I wanted to get.
I think this trilogy of albums is going to be interesting in the long run because he segmented what he normally does on one album across 3 albums more than he ever has, right? And so I could kind of see where he's coming from because if you look at Iceman as his best album since Scorpion or Views or something like that, that's actually pretty significant. You know what I mean? Like that is, if under that notion, it's better than Certified Lover Boy, it's better than arguably Honestly Nevermind, Her Loss. It's better than a lot of work that he's put out. And now you get to the point where that's nearly a quarter, nearly like 40%, 50% of his catalog almost. And so it's kind of a really inspiring return if you think about it in that context. You know what I'm saying?
So you believe that this is better than those albums you just named? In your opinion?
Yeah, because I think those other projects were not it. And
wow.
Yeah, I mean, not even just from like a hit standpoint, because I'm not sure what this is going to look like on that regard, but like Certified Lover Boy, Her Loss, Honestly Nevermind, For All the Dogs, most of these little Scary Hours, Dark Lane demos, like I didn't really need any of that stuff. And so to me, this is definitely better work than those, and that's not even trying to be funny. That's just straight up. But it's still not the level of the things that I really like in his catalog.
No, yeah, I wouldn't put this ahead of some of the other work. That's kind of like on par. You pick out like 1 or 2 songs that I genuinely see like for me, it's about most times it's one or two songs that I'll add to the catalog of Drake records
Yeah.
from each album. And for like, not that I don't want to bring the Kendrick comparison up, but like with GNX, I only added one song to my Kendrick playlist from there too. So that was Reincarnated. I love when Kendrick gets and starts rapping from other people's perspective.
Mm.
He been doing that since Section 80, but
Right.
I just love when he get in that bag. You know what I'm saying? Just like on "Sing About Me." That's like one of my favorite Kendrick Lamar songs. Um, I think Mr. Morale. I took about. I think it was like two from there. The intro, and then it was one. I always say this. One of these lines gonna take the time, and I'm drifting, falling. That song, I love
Yeah.
that song. And then I love the one with Sampha on that record, on that project too. So I probably took three from there. Whereas like, damn, you taking like 9, 10 songs off of that thing. You know what I mean? Like, To Pimp a Butterfly is a bunch of songs off of there. So I just think like, for me, when artists get out of that prime, you could just feel the age and attrition kicking in, because it's difficult to maintain that level. Even for the audience, we change, our expectations change. We expect more from them. But I do stand behind that. I do think something's going on with Drake personally that has nothing to do with music, on top of all the other things that's happening with him. You know what I'm saying? I stand behind that. I think something's happening with your man's, you know. Anyway, just we don't know what Justin is doing. Justin just dropped something on. He just dropped something on the ground. He had to go pick it up. Thank you all for joining us this morning on this bright, early Thursday morning. You know, I was about to say something. I was looking at the comments last night because I just wanted to see y'all. Because I knew Hitta was gonna be talking about how much he loved Drake. Man, I just don't be understanding why people get so upset with people that have a difference of opinion than them. It's so crazy how passionate people are about someone else's feeling. Like Hitta loves Drake. Let him love who he want to love. Let him love who he want to love. He think it's a classic. Let him think that. It's okay.
I think this conversation is interesting when it comes to that, because sometimes I also feel like there's a range of ways that people just like to enjoy a live stream or a podcast or an interactive conversation. Like, I don't know if the hate is real when it comes to necessarily disagreeing with the panelists on the show you're watching. I think
they was killing him, dog. They called him a bootleg E40. They called him. You wasn't in the comments. They was going at him, dog.
Well, I definitely saw some of the super chats later, so I understand where that's coming from. You know what I'm saying? But like, excuse me. I just think that like sometimes people just like to have fun in the chat, and I think that's how it can show up sometimes. But I do think there's a line. I think there's a line between being disrespectful to a guest and just like disagreeing with somebody was saying. But I mean, there's certain things that you're just not going to find. Like you're not going to find clips of you out there talking about Dr. Dre. There's no, or negatively about Dre. There's no clips of me talking negatively about the founder of DX. You know what I'm saying?
There is a clip.
Oh, okay.
And which is interesting that you led. That kind of gets us into this J. Cole J.I.D thing.
Yeah.
When I was leaving Shady Aftermath, I did an interview and I talked about like I was a little disgruntled, and I had I was like, yo, I should just leak all these 300 to 400 Dre beats I got. You know what I mean? Just being a disgruntled artist. So when you talk about when I seen that J.I.D. J. Cole thing, he's at that phase in his artistry where he's about to start. He's feeling he's feeling underappreciated by the people that put him on. And then you start to backlash against the people that put you in position. And then what happens is 5-10 years from later, you realize that, man, these people put me in position, and you're like, oh, I was wrong for that. But your emotions take over. So that's what he's about to. That's what he's going through right now. He's emotional about because he feel like he's supposed to be bigger than what he is. But what artists don't understand, what makes you bigger is the music that you make. So if you don't make the records, you won't be big. So you have to appeal to the general public. And somebody like him, which he has the same issue that kind of Kendrick had. They're so intricate in how they deliver the music. It's very important that you lock in on frequencies and you have choruses that people can remember. You know what I mean? When you're that intricate, it's just like Lupe. Like
Right.
if you are what you say you are, you have to have hooks that are very memorable. That's why when people be on me about the verses and who wrote the verse, that's what matters. The hook is the most important thing to an intricate rapper because most of the stuff that they say during the verse has to be broken down, and the general public does not do that.
Mm.
The general public is the hook.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know.
Real quick, how's my audio? Someone's saying my audio was low. Is it loud? Is it soft? How is
Nah, you sound like Justin. You sound like you about to narrate a movie over there, dog.
it? Word up. Okay.
You sound like a movie narrator.
You know,
This
I
is
mean,
third verse, third. I'm
third
getting
verse.
third verse. Morning show. I've been up all night. I'm Justin Hunt. 1:45 a.m. I started at 5 p.m. 8-hour stream. I thought you trying to be Casanet, dog.
I see it now. Before, it always seemed like these guys got to be crazy out here streaming all day like this. I just couldn't really even see how does one end up streaming for that long? How interesting can life be sitting in a chair talking for 8 hours? And the answers, it actually can be pretty fantastic. It could be uplifting. It could be funny. You know, it could be challenging. You know, it could be a lot of different things. I never thought I'd ever be the type of person who would do that, but I have a great time with it every week. I'm not necessarily trying to push to go longer, but the conversations are just naturally going that way, and I think that's fascinating. I think that's really fortunate too.
I think you did an excellent job with having the panel. It was, you know, unapologetic when it came to whatever they felt. And people can have conversations without it be resulting in insulting each other. I think that's really what it is. Like, so we can hear different people's point of views and perspectives. That's how you grow, you know. And what I learned is that Hitta personally has Drake has done things for him personally and his community, and that's why he has the allegiance that he has. Because the first thing he
Yeah.
said, man, Drake has done he done so much for people. That's the first thing. You know what I mean? So like I knew that at that point. So I respect the loyalty, but I also feel like his opinion is jaded in that regard when he comes in.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, yeah. I mean, I think that there's a lot of people who are more entrenched inside some of these camps than maybe we actually do really realize. You know, like there's not a lot of people who speak as honestly and freely as you do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you keep it 100% consistent, whether you're talking to, you know, someone on a live stream or someone in real life, you know, and so there's not necessarily as much of that goes on in the industry in itself. But the thing I like about Hitta more than anything else, and the reason why I wanted to have him on, one, he's from Houston, you know, two, he's from Rap A Lot, but three, I think he does actually represent a very large, very vocal segment of Drake's fan base, but not just his fan base, but fan bases in general. You know, there is a point of view that comes from just loyalty to an artist or connection to an artist or super fandom to an artist that, you know, really, really captures, you know, what other priorities people might have. And when he talked about how all the people that Drake clapped back at, I thought that was actually a point I've heard in conversations quite a bit, like just even locally, like, you know, just walking, there's like a little bar next to my house, whatever, where I'll go talk to people over there to see what they're listening to or things like that. There's a lot of people who just look forward to that. You know, there's a lot of things that you just want to see that this rollout actually accomplished. You know what I mean? And I honestly think that that's a very unique perspective that we haven't had on Culture United yet. So
Well, I think it was funny that he said, man, the battle was 2 years ago. Why are we talking about it? Well, we're talking about it because he just dissed everybody doing the whole joint, which I appreciate it. I mean, because my thing is, if you feel like you getting picked on, then do something about it. You know what I'm saying? You feel like people are picking on you, then do something about it. So my only thing is with him is I hope he takes this moment and does some self reflecting to understand why this is happening. You know what I mean? You know, you see, like when men will have situations with oh man, my baby mama, this women, you see podcasts, men talking about women and going, man, this woman did this woman did that. Not thinking of what did you do, bro? What did you do to contribute to that? You get what I'm saying?
Right.
What made you choose that woman? And then what actions did you do to her to make her do something? You know, that's the first thing I think when somebody goes on their Instagram or they want to tell a story. I'm like, so how did you contribute to this? Because there's no self nothing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Oh well, man. I remember when I was a rapper, man. Shady After, man, they not promoting me, man. I ain't doing this, man. I want to be like. So with Drake, like, hey, why are these people? This 20v1, why are they doing this? Well, you slept with this one's baby mama. You took this dude money, didn't clear the song. You did a verse with this dude. He thinking he's setting his whole shit around, coming out with your own, with thinking it's gonna be the single, and then last minute you tell him you can't use it. You know what I'm saying? It's just little shit like that. Or you messing with the same girl as this one's messing with, but you talking shit about this dude to this girl, and then she's telling this dude the stuff you saying. Ain't no self-reflection going on. It's just me. Everybody picking on me. Why are they picking on me? Why are they messing with Dwayne? Why are they picking on me? Nah, you got to do self-reflecting as a human being. This is in any situation. Everybody listening. Whenever someone does something to you, think about what did you do to make that happen. Of course, there are malicious things, and people do malicious things every day. But always think about what you could have done to avoid that situation. You know what I mean? I ask any, or was it their fault? Most people like, well, it was their fault. That's why it didn't work out. Nah, what are you doing? And he's not doing that. You hear all these songs about his love life. He don't ever talk about why it messed up from his perspective. It's always what the girl did. You never talk about how you had this many girls on the side and cheating on these women, and then you just talking about how she broke your heart. Nigga, you broke your own heart. You had like 9 different women cheating on these women. So that's what I hope he gets. That's what I would like to hear about. In his songs, I would like to hear about him reflecting on the bullshit he did instead of pushing it out on everybody else. Going forward, I would like to hear him self-reflect and be like, I did this, I did that, I did this, I was wrong, I fucked up, I shouldn't have done that. Looking back on this, and then I think that would be growth as how he could grow, because he's gonna do more records. But I think that's what he should do, in my opinion.
You know, I think it's my last time thinking about what Drake should be doing. You know, I was thinking about this yesterday. Someone, you know, like after this cycle right here, I think like, all right, I think I'm very comfortable with my understanding of this artist and what this artist is and isn't capable of or willing to express. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just kind of cool.
Well, hey Drake, it ain't over for me, baby. As long as they watching, I'm gonna keep on talking, big dog. I got you back, man.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's part of the fiduciary responsibility to cover important, impactful things that are happening in the space. So that part's going to remain the same. But like, I don't know, you know, pretty sure that this is it. I don't have any expectations of anything different, you know. And
you Drake
like,
out,
like sometimes you have to get to that. You get to that point, like with relationships, right? You were just talking about like, you know, how Drake can sound when he's talking about relationships, right? Or how we all have to get to a point where we have to realize the things that we're doing that contributes to how other people respond to us. Yes. You know, it's like I've had relationships before where they weren't working out for one reason or another, but we kept trying, right? And every time we'd be like, okay, this time's gonna be different. This time's gonna be different. This time's gonna be different. And you look up, like 3 years have passed, and you're still waiting for things to be different. You're waiting for like whatever to click in that this person might understand about you or you might understand about that person. You know what I mean? I've had that happen plenty of times. And after a while, I was just kind of like, you know, I guess maybe we just are who we are. You know, we're going to be what we're going to be. And I think after a while, you just have to accept that.
Well, I respect the consistency because I know plenty of people like you that are not really fans of anything that he does. I respect the consistency.
I like the good stuff.
You know, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I know someone that doesn't like any of it, the whole catalog. He feels like what's the dude that does the reviews?
Fantano.
Fantano.
That was a funny
Marlon.
call yesterday. That was funny. I didn't expect you to call me with that yesterday.
No, I really sat back. I watched him review every Drake album that's ever come out since he's been rapping, and he bashed every last one of them. He said they're all garbage. Every time he's really not saying anything that is impactful. I just don't really gel with it. It's not good. The lyrics are bad. The beats are subpar. He just don't go. I mean, I'm talking about from the beginning of dude's career all the way up to now. The highest rating that he gave dude was a 6, low 7, and I think that was the one where he's talking about if you're reading it, this is too late.
Yeah.
He didn't even like Take Care.
Yeah.
I think that's Drake's masterpiece right there.
Yeah, I think so too.
Out of the
We needed you last night on More Classic, man. We did More Classic between Take Care and Nothing Was the Same, and it ended up being a tie because there was 5 on the panel, and L and BK went with Nothing Was the Same. Me, Sky, and Hitta went with Take Care, but then the audience went with Nothing Was the Same. So we actually had a tie.
I mean, Kendrick is on the interlude of that album. It's got Andre 3000 on it. I mean, just and Lil Wayne, like the mere fact that he did that, and he's not rapping on that record, he's just singing, and Andre 3000 verse is better than anything on Nothing Was the Same. That verse is crazy. Will leave y'all both in the Boise state. Can't see the players of the team, cuz. That line right there is better than the whole next album. That line was crazy. So. No disrespect to that next album because it was good. Nothing Was the Same. It was dope. But I'm just saying, like, Andre got off. But so I'm gonna take care. I'm gonna take care, Drake guy. Let's see. What is it? The intro of that record. Then he had the Weekends on that. That's when they did. I remember Wonder for a long time was trying to get that. The Crew.
That Crew Love beat is crazy.
I remember when because they had just a acapella to that, and I remember Boy Wonder coming into DJ's office, and they was trying to figure the beat out. They couldn't figure it out, and when he was playing us these different versions, and he played that one, and I'm like, dawg, that's it. And that's the first time I had never heard Weeknd. I ain't know who he was. I'm like, who the hell is that singing? This dude named The Weeknd. He's from Toronto. He's crazy. Drake's trying to sign him. You know, and I think that's where that's where their situation went left, because Drake wanted to sign The Weeknd, and The Weeknd ended up, which was smart. He ended up doing the deal directly with the same people that Drake is signed to, and so Drake felt the way about that. And then all the female stuff, and as I said, Toronto people love to talk about each other behind each other's back. That's just what they do.
That's interesting right there. I don't think I realized that side of it. Like, I know Drake trying to sign The Weeknd. I thought they fell out over some women's stuff. I didn't realize they fell out because The Weeknd did the same deal with Republic, I guess, in this case is who you're talking about. And Drake felt away about that. That's interesting.
Yeah, because Drake was trying to sign him. It was, he wanted to sign dude, which he was smart. You know, he felt like he didn't need the co-sign of Drake, and he went and did his own thing. Sometimes when you sign under an artist, it can kind of stifle your growth. You don't, because at the end of the day, the artist is always going to think about themselves more so than the person that they're signing. You know, they're going to always, well, I got to get my shit together. You know what I mean? So The Weeknd, they were smart, and they went and they kind of backdoored dude. He didn't really know, you know, and that's where I think the tension kind of started. And then I think the female stuff in Toronto, all the talking and messing with this chick and that chick, all that stuff leads to all the other drama. Money and women, dog, every time. Money and women. it's all about, if you think about all these differences that go on with these artists, it'd be money and women every time ruins a relationship.
Would you describe Take Care as an album that Drake stole from The Weeknd?
Not, I wouldn't say stole. I just feel like The Weeknd was very involved. He was singing on a lot of the records. They had a good working relationship. I wouldn't call it stole. I just think, okay, so let's take Bruno Mars, right? People don't know Bruno Mars was around LA for years writing records for a lot of people. You know, the FU song by CeeLo was written by Bruno Mars. You know, I've been knowing Bruno forever. So Bruno was going session to session, writing all these records for people, and people putting out great albums off of what Bruno was doing. And Bruno ended up being Bruno, but then Anderson .Paak started working with Bruno the same type of way. You know what I mean? I wouldn't call it taking these people's album. I just call it, that's kind of like how you pay your dues coming into the game. You know what I mean? Like if you're super talented, you latch on to these people that you kind of know. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's so much stuff with my own personal career out here. You know, when I came out here to LA, I was working with B Cox and doing R&B records. I was sitting in the room with Brian Michael Cox and Jermaine Dupri. I was there when they wrote Confessions Remix. I sat there and watched them write that song. When I was in LA, I was with my ex-girlfriend. No, I'm watching these two niggas go back and forth, like, and do that record. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And, you know, so technically I could have jumped in there. I'm a writer. I could have said something, but I was so green at the time. I didn't want to jump in there and do my thing. But I'm just saying, going back to your original question, when you in these rooms and you're contributing, you're not thinking like, oh, well, this is something I can keep for myself and all that type of shit. You know, you're just trying to get in the game. Like Kanye West was the same way. He was doing beats for everybody, contributing, all Rockefeller doing all that type of shit. And he wasn't like, oh, well, I'm going to keep this for myself. What happened was a lot of the stuff he was playing for people, they was turning it down. You know what I mean? Flow Rider, Apple Bottom Jeans, that was for Nelly. He wrote that for Nelly. You know what I mean? Nelly didn't want it. So he's
Which
like, well,
crazy.
I just keep it for myself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, Pharrell Williams wrote his biggest hit. I'm Happy. That was for CeeLo. CeeLo didn't want the record. You know her or Kanye West, Common passed on this joint. I made it to a jam. It made me everything I am. Common passed on all that shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, Rakim didn't want a lot of that shit 50 Cent rapped on. It's just a tale of the story of somebody trying to get into the game. So, yeah, I wouldn't say he's...
Anything you passed on that turned into it? Not that
I mean,
you weren't necessarily allowed to put out, but yeah.
It wasn't passed. I just didn't write a better song. I mean, Game, all them beats that Game rapped on the documentary, I had all those. I had songs of all those. That was fucking, what's that album that Jay-Z did where Dre did a lot of the beats? You Lost One? In Hawaii, I had all those beats.
Yeah.
I had wrote to all those songs. You know what I'm saying? You Lost One. I had all that shit. Like I wrote to all those songs. Like, but you know, it's Jay-Z. Jay-Z got off on them shits. You know what I mean? So it wasn't no thing. I didn't feel I don't feel like that.
Right.
I just feel like I'm blessed to have had the opportunity to even be in them rooms with them songs. Like I'm a part of history of and shit that I've been around. Like I've been around the greatest people to do this shit. That's why when I give my review of an album and people get mad, I'm not saying, hey, for you it's different. I actually live behind the curtain, so my expectations are totally different. And then I have a better understanding of what artists be going through because I actually live that life, you know?
Right.
So when I say Drake's album is not that great, I'm not trying to down him because, you know, he's not a great artist. Or if I say I didn't like Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, based on, I'm comparing it to what these guys have done at their greatest, at their apex. You know what I mean?
Right.
When I heard Kendrick Lamar for the first time, when J. Cole played me The Hard Part 2, I lost my motherfucking mind in that studio. When J. Cole put that shit on, I'm like, yo, what in the fuck is this? I had never heard that guy. He played that shit for us. You know what I mean? So, and now we in a place where J. Cole, and I know Kendrick don't fuck with that nigga like that. You know what I'm saying? And then now we in a place where I was at the show when Kendrick was opening for fucking Dot. I brought the poetic justice beat in. This is a fact. So that's the song that dude got on. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm looking like these niggas don't even get along. This shit whack as fuck to me. It's whack. It's whack because they was all, you know what I mean? It was all like that. Now we ain't gonna never get no music from none of these niggas together.
Right.
It'll never happen.
You're tuned in live right now. Third Verse Morning Show every Thursday. Stackquo, DJ Mormilly, Justin Hunt. We live right now for breakfast. I do want to. Let's get to some of these super chats here for a second.
Yeah, let's
and then I want to get into this JID, J. Cole stuff because I am fascinated by JID. I know we touched on it lightly, and you touched on it at the beginning of the show, but JID is at a very interesting junction in his career, and he continues to remind us, and we'll break that down here coming up here shortly. But big shout out to Blue Slides 24. Justin, did you see the New York Times Popcast review of Iceman? They were glazing hand and sounded unseasoned with their takes on Not Like Us, saying it aged poorly. You know, I think I didn't actually see that. I saw clips of them talking about this. And, you know, these guys were like, what were they? They were on the complex list, right? J.I.D is a god in this space. Like, just for people who might not understand, the stuff he used to write at the New York Times. I mean, he's been writing all century at the New York Times about hip hop, and he's a huge fan of his work. And I'm also very inspired by his pen and his prose. I didn't see this review. I saw some clips come out. They are actually very excited about this, and I think that I said this last night when people were talking about. They were asking me about Joe Budden's reaction to this album, and I think, like, you know, it's kind of. I think after a certain point, we can't necessarily be incredulous as to why so many people are kind of talking favorably around these releases, particularly Iceman. You know what I mean? Like, maybe people just think it's not as bad as they thought it was going to be. And I think that is a very real thing. I'm not sure what they said here, but to the second part of this, saying that Not Like Us, saying it aged poorly, Rolling Stone basically took that same approach with their review as well. And that is the nature of these reviews that I am finding interesting. The number of people who are going back and not necessarily writing a review on Iceman or Habibti or Maid of Honor based off of what Drake offered, but also still tying it to the battle and Not Like Us, which makes sense, right? I mean, most of this album is still tied to the battle and Not Like Us. Excuse me. But the referendum on that moment is here now. And I think people should just keep an eye out for it and watch out and notice how people will try to turn that song into a weapon that will be used against history in itself, I will say.
Well, if the biggest song that came out of that battle didn't age well, what do you think some of these songs on these albums going to do? So they should ask themselves that question because nothing on all three of these albums is on the level of Not Like Us. Nothing.
I think about it. I think about it in a different, broader macro context. And I know that these Drake fans want to tell me don't be paying attention to the lyrics and don't be thinking too much about what's happening. But I do think that things are very interesting when you have a song that has turned into an empowering, unifying anthem for all kinds of sports teams, all kinds of political parties, all kinds of countries, all types of people who are fighting up against something. Right? It is a perfect song to be used as an anthem from a hook standpoint. Now, you don't even need the verses. But, like, what I'm saying is from a macro standpoint, the revision of that song and its impact and what it means to me does feel like what's happening. It does feel like a sign of the times in a way.
You know what I was going to ask Hitta last night?
What?
Out of the three albums that came out, tell me what song would Drake perform at the end of his set? If he's doing a show, if he's performing at a stadium, out of all the songs that he got in his catalog, which one of them songs supersedes all the other hits he got? And this is what I be trying to tell people. The whole reason of putting out new product is so that you can go on the road and do shows and make more money. That's just period. So if you don't make a record bigger than the record you already made before, then at the end of the day, hey, you have not surpassed what you did before. It's just a fact. Not like us. Kendrick can perform that at the end of his set. He probably doesn't, but it's the biggest song he's ever made. You know what I'm saying? So next time he come out, he's trying to surpass that. Unless he's trying at this point he wants to leave his own company, PG Lane, then he'll choose not to do it like he did on Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. But that's a whole nother story. Look at you shaking your head.
Yeah, because like I know what you mean, but I like the way that Dave Free and Kendrick were describing that conversation with A$AP Ferg in New York, where they talked about the roller coaster effect. So like, you know, they'll go for like a pop hitting album first, let's say, and then on the next one they'll try to get something that's like more underground or more, you know, cultural, more underground, fortify that base, and then come back up with something pop. So you get like Good Kid, Mad City, and then you get To Butterfly, which is more underground and unexpected. Then you get Damn, which is more pop, and then you get Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, which is more underground, and then you get GNX, which is more pop. So you know, and the reason if what Dave was saying was that one thing that you want to avoid, one thing you want to consider is that the human body can get used to anything. The human body and the human mind can get used to any condition. So you want to keep people on their toes. You want to keep people expecting, not knowing what to expect with what a release is going to feel like. So for them, they call it the roller coaster effect. So they'll go for a pop album, then they'll come down and do an underground album, and then something that's more pop friendly, etc. So that's how I think about Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, even though it does coincide with what you're saying.
Well, listen, I bet you they wouldn't say that shit in front of me. I know these little niggas. I say the little niggas to me. They little niggas to me. Because you know what I mean? They wouldn't say that in front of fucking Top. Hey man, It's Alright was on To Pimp a Butterfly. That's arguably one of he performed that at the Super Bowl with Dre. That's one of his biggest songs.
Sure, but right. Wait.
Hold on. So let me tell you something. Because I'm gonna tell you, he didn't make that song thinking it wasn't gonna be a hit. That song, we talked about that song being a big record. That was a conversation like this can be a big song. This can be a big song. It didn't so happen to take off and be an anthem for you know all the protests you go to. But the conversation was, oh, we're not gonna make something that people like. No, dog, he made a record, and I'm telling you, there's no It's Alright. It's gonna be all right. That ain't on Mr. Morale. You know what I'm saying? It ain't on there. He so I hear you, they can say that, but I'm telling you, the roller coaster didn't go down with that album. Yeah, they had some rapidy rap stuff on there, but All Right is one of Kendrick's biggest songs. I would say top 3. Am I wrong? Because I would go like Not Like Us, Humble, and All Right. Maybe All Right would probably be above Humble because of what it meant. So I would probably put All Right second. It's his second biggest record in his catalog to me. Because not only was it a hit, but it also meant so much more to so many people. That's one of the biggest songs, period. Like, if we talking, you know. Dog, where the headphones I got you, dog? Where are the headphones that I got you?
They don't charge. They don't work with my phone. It's they're an older. They only work with like the older edition iPhones.
Dog, get a charger, dog. The headphones.
It won't even pair.
What do you mean?
It won't pair. The version of this iPhone, it won't pair to the headphones.
For real?
Yeah, for real.
Hey, Apple a piece of shit.
For real. Like it's a Bluetooth technology. Like what are they doing? It's crazy. I couldn't believe it. I have an older phone. I was thinking about using it just for like the gym and stuff like that.
I refuse to get a new phone. They're not getting me. Every year they come out with this new phone. And to them phones do something like brush my teeth or do something different. Like I'm just answering the phone, answering emails. Like I'm not buying a new phone just for that. Like you got to do something. You got to show me something. Every year they get y'all go spend $1,200 for a new phone, and they do everything pretty much the same as the last phone.
They get a better camera. Your camera better. They gonna make sure that happen.
Man,
they gonna give you the freshest surveillance equipment. They gonna let you know.
I don't consider myself to be attractive enough to be sitting around taking pictures. Like I'm not. That's not my MO. I don't think I'm that guy. Like Pose for the camera, man. Nah, that ain't what it is. That's not.
Thoughts are physical. Let's get back to the super chats right here. This is from Put It on Vinyl. Says, currently listening to Culture United, kind of confused by Hitta's comments on Drake doing new stuff when everything I've heard is just a diversion of things he's already done. I'll be back to get y'all's takes. That was something DJ Hard Hitter said last night. I was a bit taken aback by that too, because I feel like the thing that, at least I see a lot of people commenting on this album, and why part of the reason why they're enjoying it so much is because it does remind them of things that they already like.
Yes. I don't think he's stuck to the script his entire career. So I think Hard Hitter was in this. Let me tell y'all something. He was in a situation. He got jumps. I tried to stand in there and help him. I couldn't save him. You know what I mean? Y'all jumped on him tough. I couldn't save him because some of the stuff he was saying was wild. So I had to, at a certain point, I just had to let everybody just gang up on him. He was in a territory where he shouldn't have been. I don't even think he was ready to deal with the barrage of comments and questions, because especially not with this project, you can't stand on business. That's why it's so funny to me to see people like I rock with Joe and them, right?
Yeah.
They really sitting there breaking it down like this is some elite Drake stuff. It's crazy to me. Now I understand Joe economically, right? People would expect him to bash it because of Drake dissing him or whatever. So he took the whole other direction, which I think is very smart. I think academics commented on it. But to sit here and go through it as if, like, what? Like, I seen academics say something like, Jay-Z ain't never rapped like this. I was like, sir. Like, Jay-Z ain't never rapped like this? Now listen, I didn't like Jay-Z's last interview, okay? I didn't like that. You know what I mean? But what are we talking about right now? And I think Drake is a dope rapper. I think he's phenomenal. I think he's had some great verses over the years. But to try to sit here like he's doing something new, this is like a new Drake. These are new verses or new ways of him approaching. This is how he approached the bars. I think Drake is dope, but he's not Black Thought. I mean, like, like so if will.i.am believes Black Thought is a trillion times better than Jay-Z, where would that put Drake on that level to ask will.i.am? You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, so back to the question is, Hitta was in a bad position saying some stuff he shouldn't have said. You know what I mean? He was tripping.
There was a comment today that said, why am I being messy? This feels like the third time I set somebody up. For the record, I've never set anybody up. There's never been a meeting between me, Stat, L, BK, or anybody like, okay, at this point, you guys flip it on them. I've never done that. And I think they're also thinking about the Big Jaw interview. I think what happens more than anything else is I also am willing to bring on, I think different people that are doing different types of projects or have different perspectives that can elicit a reaction. I had a great conversation with Dame, who's Big Jaw's manager. He's CEO of Funk Volume, used to be CEO of Funk Volume, with Hobson. And we had dinner on Thursday. No, today's Thursday. Wednesday. No, say yesterday's what? Tuesday. We had dinner on Tuesday. Days be going by, y'all. And we talked about it. And he actually felt really good about the conversation with Big Jaw. And he said that Dame said that he understood that there is a large section of the population who might, feel the way that L and BK did in that conversation with Big Jaw, And as the show grows, they're going to end up running into those people. Right now, it's still very controlled because it's a digital web series and it has its own audience. But the general population, there are going to be people who don't necessarily understand what type of show that might be. And Ja handled it amazingly. There's a point where L asked Ja if he felt like if he was a hypocrite for not wanting to have gay men, and instead of only focusing on, gay women in the show. And he was like, yeah, I guess 100%, Well, that's the answer, and you're gonna run into that in life. But there wasn't some coordinated effort to set him up. I didn't even know that was gonna go that way, you know? And the same thing with Hitta. I told Hitta, first of all, Hitta watches the show. Okay.
He knew what it was.
He watched the show. He wanted to come on for J. Cole like a few months ago. He was like, yo, you gotta let me come on. Justin, I got your boy J. Cole. We gotta talk about it. You know what I mean? So he knew the show. And if anybody who knows Hitta, which a lot of people in Houston and in the South do, that's his personality. He has a Texas-sized personality, right? So it's gonna come out. But I would never set anybody up. You know, that's never been part of anything I've ever done.
Well, you're not even that kind of guy, though. You're you're very conscious of how people feel. You care about people's feelings. Now, me on the other hand, I'm gonna set your ass up. I am. It's for the betterment of what we doing. We got to get it going. You ain't cutthroat at all. I will be. I have to. If it's me or you, I'm cutting your neck off. But you know, when Reason was on there, you told me that. You always tell me who's on there, and I'm like, yo, I don't want to come on there because if the minute he say something about TDE, I wouldn't want to embarrass him or even get into that type of contentious conversation about the path that he took in his career. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Because I feel as him leaving TDE was a mistake. I didn't feel like that was a good move for his career. So I didn't even want to go back and forth with him about that because we think otherwise. He'll see why it was a mistake as he continues to do what he's doing. But yeah, as far as setting people up, that's not even who you are, man. But for me, hey, I'm gonna invite you on the show, and I'm not gonna tell you nothing. You just gonna come in there and not be he gonna be fucking ambushed. Damn, Stat, you ain't tell me? No, I didn't tell you. Content. We gotta get the content.
Oh gosh. Let's do one more, then we'll get back to our next story. Third Verse Podcast. We're live right now. This one comes from HD Potato. Nope. HD Potato. Dang, that's a flip. Potato. I like that. Pusha T was subbing Drake and Iceman Material's second verse, Rock and Roll 2022, What I Miss Plot, Twist, Goat, a wild biracial slur, a drug entendre. That's an esoteric super chat.
Pusha T been going at them forever. I mean, he dissed Lil Wayne, he dissed Birdman, like he kept it going. An elite lyricist too, by the way. He's an elite swordsman, Pusha T.
And they're also an elite company in terms of being late in their career and putting out their best work.
Yes. I don't think it's their best work. I still think Lord Willing is better. Okay. But
the argument.
But it's an argument that can be made, and that's why I was like, damn, you're right. And then in every situation, there's an outlier.
Right.
But Muhammad Ali said this. He's like, he was doing an interview, and they was like, man, are all white people bad? Muhammad Ali said, if I'm standing in the street and there's 12 lions running at me, I don't have the time to decide which one's the good one. So I'm gonna assume they all bad. So that's the same argument you can say with these people making albums later on in their career. I don't have the time to be sitting back to see if all these albums are gonna be good. I'm gonna assume they all not as good as what they put out before. Shout out to Ali.
I like that. You've evolved in that point. You've been thinking about it. That's good. That's a good remote. It is an outlier. You know, let us know in the comment section if you have examples of artists later in their career who put out their best work. We're talking past their prime. Any genre, I'm open to it. Let us know in the comment section what you got.
And make sure you subscribe to the channel too, while everybody in the chat, please. We appreciate that. Love y'all. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
All right, let's share this. We're gonna share the screen here on this. These JID stories, because JID is out here. You know, JID is he is a quotable guy. I gotta give JID that. Away from even just the music, he is extremely quotable. And so he said a couple of things this week that a lot of people notice. And so there is a J. Cole line on the Fall Off, right? And it was, Birthday Blizzard. It was a line that was shouting out J.I.D. JID is signed to, or at least was signed to J. Cole at one point in time, right? And so It was on 99 Build Freestyle. J. Cole says, if hip-hop is back, JID should chart platinum. Anything less than that, it means y'all capping. Right? Can you guys see this on the screen? Yes, you can. Okay. And then, so the JID responds, nigga ain't say shit, I've been overly platinum. That bar was ass. So someone was saying that, you know, they were essentially trying to give JID props, but JID is like, you know, that was an ass bar, J. Cole. I've been platinum. I thought this stood out to me. Now, and we're gonna add this next one right here too. And this one is in context of the BET Awards. Where is this at? It's right here. So this is a broader conversation because I know one of the things we want to talk about today were the BET Awards nominations. But JID also posted, I hate BET. 5 Grammy nominations, 0 BET in nominations, acknowledgement, nothing. Niggas remix the same people every year at the BET Awards. So that's what JID said, right? And then, again, someone said, nigga ain't said shit, I've been overly platinum. J. Cole said it best. So someone replied to that and said J. Cole said it best. And then JID said, nigga ain't say shit, I've been overly platinum. That bar was ass. So BT and J. Cole end up getting, found themselves in JID's crosshairs.
Why do people get so mad at award shows for not acknowledging what the hell they got going on? Who cares, bro? You mad because you ain't getting nominated, not because you ain't win, because you ain't getting nominated. Who gives a fuck?
I think
that shit is it's lame to me, dog. You're traveling all around the world. You're one of the very few people that rap like that can go around the world. People pay to see you, enjoy you, love your music. People hail you as one of the greater artists of your generation, and you over here worried about what the fucking BET Awards you got going on. And then J. Cole put you in position, and all you had to say is, respectfully, I've been platinum. And you could have said the same thing. That bar is ass. Like, come on, bro. Like, what are you doing? Like, that's lame. That's what I'm trying to tell you. He got other issues with J. Cole, and it spills over into raps. Just like J. Cole have other issues with Jay-Z, and it spills over into raps. And then you look down your life, right? Then you'll say, I shouldn't have said that. Because they are emotional about business. But the business is messed up for us all. Because everybody in the music industry is getting screwed over, except the people at the very top, which we never met. The people that created streaming and created the structure of labels. These are the only people winning. Everybody else is a trickle-down effect. It's getting screwed over. So,
well, I actually think JID has a point when it comes to certain award shows, right? I don't necessarily think that everybody who complains about not getting nominated at the Grammys has a point, especially if you're in hip-hop, right? You're really talking about, let's say it's Rap Album of the Year. You're talking about 5 or 6 artists in general. But the BET Awards is the awards for Black entertainment television. And I think that they have done a much better job of being more inclusive as to what that actually means over recent years. They had Shabuzi perform at the BET Awards, for example, last year. We have a number of Black country stars. I think they should be included in the BET Awards 10, right? I went to BET Awards 2 years ago. Donald Glover, Childish Gambino was there, and they let him present an award. He was like, "Yo, this is so crazy. This is actually my first time being invited to the BET Awards. Sam Smith has been here twice. The BET Awards haven't even invited me, Childish Gambino." You know, I think for a long time, the BET Awards was very narrow in terms of who they would present or allow to be presented awards or make an appearance. And I think part of that reason is because at some point in time, the BET itself became sort of an echo chamber for what's happening in hip hop. I don't think that they necessarily included all the other things that can be included within BET, right? You had BET when we were growing up had shows like Caribbean Rhythms, you know, had shows like Teen Summit, you know what I mean? Sunday was just all gospel, right? But you went to that channel and it was an amalgamation of all the things that were included inside Black culture. Then it gets sold to Viacom and whatever, and it becomes very narrow, and it becomes a lot of reality shows and what's happening with rappers. And so you have that for a very long time where there's a lot of people who are just left out. Like the fact that Sam Smith was at the BET Awards, invited to the BET Awards more times than Childish Gambino. Insane. You know what I mean? So they're getting it back on the right track. And I do appreciate that about that. I think J.I.D has a point because that's a glaring oversight. Like legitimately, my man has 5 Grammy nominations and BET Awards has never acknowledged him in some capacity. Like these are the type of things that, you know, in my opinion, a brand or a name like BET is supposed to actually be doing more of.
Well, I think Childish Gambino didn't get invited because he doesn't shower properly. He smells. So that's probably why he didn't get invited. This is a known fact. I'm not breaking any news here. Dude be stinking. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I don't know if y'all been around. So he probably that's why they ain't let him come because he does not properly shower and he smells bad. So that's that on that. Sam Smith probably takes showers. That's why it's like they was like, you know what? We gonna invite Childish. Don't invite that nigga. He don't shower. He don't brush his teeth right. All that's wrong. Every time I watch Atlanta or any, because I love the show, but I can't help but to think like, dang, he doing his whole show and just funky up there. I'm talking about like multiple people, like multiple conversations in studios. We sitting around talking about how funky this nigga be. when Nick Cannon finally said it out loud, I was like, finally somebody said it. Finally somebody talked about this funky nigga. Hey man, listen, Childish Gambino, shout out to you. You a very talented brother. We can't do everything perfect. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you missed, maybe something happened when you was younger and you didn't figure out how to wash yourself right. Get in there, dog. Get up in there. You know what I'm saying? Get the squishing that thing around, let that lather hit your body. You know what I'm saying? Get the neck, get behind there, dog. Cause you that's why they ain't invite you. That's why you was up there like, wow. And we was watching it, we was like, wow, they really invited your funky ass. That's what we said. When you said, wow, we here, we were like, wow, they really let you come up in here. Cause boy, everybody talks about how bad you smell. Like it's not like 1 to 2 people, it's like a thing. This is what they said. See, and I would tell you, you're not my friend, but if you was my friend, I'd be like, bruh, you gotta wash, bro. You gotta get that together. You smell like cumin. You know that cumin smell? Dude smell like cumin. Homeless man 101.
That's crazy.
Great artist though.
That's crazy.
You never heard that?
I never heard that.
Oh my God, that's why he didn't get invited. No, he's one of the most talented dudes on earth.
You said that's why he didn't get invited. That's not why he didn't get invited. There's no way.
Bro, I'm telling you.
There's
the
no
powers
way.
that be was like, bro, we gonna have to evacuate the venue. He one of the most talented dudes we have. Period.
Without question.
Writer, producer, rapper,
actor, producer,
comedian.
Stand-up comedian.
Stand-up comedian. Like he is like Jamie Foxx. The only thing he does not do is impressions. And he probably can do those too. Right. Dude is incredible. But that's what I say. You can't be good at all those things and then just be great at the regular stuff. So you knew he was gonna miss with his body. You knew. Dog, listen. I just want to say this, dog. Shout out to Keisha Cole, man. I've told this story before, but I'm gonna say it again. And I was gonna wait to say it when she came on the show. Dog, I took Keisha Cole over to Nipsey was working on the victory lap. I took Keisha Cole over there because at the time I was helping her with her career stuff. We sitting outside. Keisha Cole tells me, "Nigga, take a stick of gum." She gave me a stick of gum. She's like, "Your breath is kicking." I loved her for that. Ever since that she told me that, I flossed. I've taken better care of my teeth. You know what I'm saying? I started doing that, brushing. You know what I mean? Because that's what you got to do with your people. She also told me, "Hey, stop wearing them shorter shirts. Your stomach, you got a stomach. You need to wear longer t-shirts." That's what I'm saying. You got to look out for your folk. When you're slipping, like Justin, if you came over, I'm like, "Dog, you stink. What's up, dog?" If I'm smelling, you gotta be like, "Hey, Stat, man, go wash your armpits, bro." Right. And the fact that they let Childish Gambino run around here for all this time talking about how bad he stank, to the point to where Nick Cannon just had to come out one day and be like, "Man, that boy Childish Gambino be stinking."
I did not know
And
that was a
nobody
thing.
told him. You know who else they say smell? And he one of my favorite rappers, J Electronica.
I can see that.
They say he
Not
be
to
stinking
be
too.
disrespectful, but you know,
Not being disrespectful.
yeah, J-Elec's last few appearances have worried me. That appearance he had in L.A. when he just wanted to rap without the beat and then started telling the audience they're all agents and cowards because they wanted to hear the beat to Exhibit C as well. Like, I can see that.
Listen, people be weird. Like, you know, I do a salt stick under my armpits. I don't even wear traditional deodorant. I do a salt stick, but I be wearing. You know, Snoop used to always compliment, "Hey, cuz, you come through, man. You smell like a Muslim, cuz. What you got on your body? Cuz I gotta get some of that, cuz." You know what I'm saying? So I make sure when I pull up, you know, it's a good smell. You know what I mean? I want to smell like an incense box. You know what I mean? But I'm not as great as J Electronica is as a rapper, or I'm not as great as Childish Gambino. Maybe when you reach a certain level of greatness, you just start not giving a fuck about funk. You know what I'm saying? He's just like, well, look, I could just be funky because I'm great.
Well,
But
I can't think of her name. I can't think of what her name is, but she was the actor. Oh, I think she was the opposite lead of Childish Gambino in Atlanta. Oh my gosh, what's her name? She was also in the Marvel. She was in Deadpool. Let me get it. Let me pick up her name.
you know, I can't. What's that girl, Erica Mena? They talk about her breath too. That's a thing that people talk about. But I think because she got veneers. All y'all with the veneers, right? Check this out. So with veneers, they shave your teeth down and they put a cap over it. So y'all will go and get these cheap veneers in all these different places. But if you don't get the veneers correct, all that funk, your teeth are still under there. So that funk will come out and your breath will smell like straight shit and there's nothing you can do about it. So you got some beautiful women walking around here with straight teeth looking incredible, but the moment they open their mouth, it's like a cesspool. You know what I'm saying? They don't tell y'all about that.
This I can't think of her name. I can pull it up, but this woman right here, she was actually had a cover story recently talking about how, you know, she has a different hygiene regimen that she goes through. You know what I mean? And so
Hold up. What movie? What show was she on though?
She was on Atlanta. This is Atlanta.
That's why she got the role, because she's the only one that can lay next to this funky nigga. That's not Justin.
Oh,
Alley-oop.
That's crazy.
Dog, it wasn't that she's a great actress. It's because she's the only one that can sit there and act through the way he smelled. Other women have talked about how bad he stunk. I'm not making this up. This is going down. This is a true thing. That's crazy.
Hold on a second. Let me look for this headline.
That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. You put her on the screen. She's in this joint with her.
Yeah, I didn't think about this.
Crazy. Dang. That's why she got the role. So that's why he don't get invited to the BET Awards. And maybe he need to go down there to Lamert Park. They got the body butters. They got some exotic soaps. All of my brothers, you know what I'm saying? That's why I get my body butter from. Shout out to Lamert Park. And go and take care of that, bro. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, they did a story. I mean, they've done recent stories about this, which is really interesting.
About him stinking, right?
No, it's not about him. Like, this is really interesting. There's a 2019 story about Zay-Z Beats here with BET. Says, like an open book, Zay-Z has never shied away from sharing her beauty choices, including choosing to not shave her armpits. Then there's a 2019 story that over here that talks about Zay-Z Beats reveals she prefers a cat wash over a shower.
Hold on. Stop.
Like, why do they keep covering? This is really weird.
What's a cat wash?
It's like a bird bath. Like, you know, you just sort of like go to the sink and rub your parts and keep moving.
When do we get to a point where we don't want to bathe? What's wrong with bathing? I'm just trying to figure out, we at war with the water? Like, what's happening? Is there a shortage that I ain't know about? We don't want to bathe? What's going on, dog? We at war with bathing?
There is a water shortage, and these data centers. I'll tell you real quick. These data centers are taking the community's waters, and now there's multiple interviews of people talking about, hey, you know, you don't even need to wash that much. The agenda. That's the agenda. Let's stop talking about these rappers. Let's look at this water agenda, because there's no way there should be this many stories It's almost like they interview Zazie Beetz annually just to talk about how she has a less focused bathing regimen. I'm not even saying that. And look, I want to say this too. There's been, there's certain things that are just the case, right? Like, with black hair, you don't wash it every day, right? Like sometimes you want, really not even black hair, just hair in general. Like sometimes you want the oils to build up again before you wash it, because you start washing it too much, it can take out a lot of the natural purities that's in it. Maybe there's some of that stuff that's happening with bathing. But the fact that I just Googled this, and there's like 4 different articles, it's like an annual article about how she doesn't bathe. And you're telling me Childish Gambino has a reputation for being funky.
No, listen. Pull this up right now. Google Nick Cannon talks Childish Gambino stinking. Y'all think I'm just making this up? This is a conversation. Talk.
I never knew this.
This is big studio talk. This stuff when we ain't recording. This the type of shit we talk about.
Let me see what's there. Let me see. Donald Glover, maybe not Childish Gambino.
Yeah, Donald Glover, yeah.
All right, let's see. What's it say? This is Lenny Kravitz. He says Lenny Kravitz stink.
Okay, well, my bad. Lenny Kravitz do smell. Shout out to Lenny. His sister is cool. Lenny smell too.
He said Lenny Kravitz. I don't see anything on Donald Glover.
Yeah, it's both of them. Lenny too.
Nick can't see. In 2014, Childish Gambino did an interview with The Breakfast Club, made lighthearted jokes about Nick Cannon. Later, Cannon released a diss track firing back at Gambino and Charlamagne the God. Charlamagne responded by telling Cannon, "You don't need me, you need deodorant." Charlamagne responded by telling Cannon, "You don't need me, you need deodorant," claiming Cannon came to the radio station smelling stanky. Donald Glover. The term is generally used with Donald Glover through early career hip-hop rivalries. In the 2010s, he and rapper Tyler Creator traded a few back and forth jabs in a song on social media, occasionally throwing lighthearted insults at one another.
The Google Donald Glover smelling, because he did an interview. He's talking about himself like his deodorant is not smelling or some shit. Put that in there. These are conversations that's be having. I'm letting y'all in behind the curtain real quick. You know what I mean?
Does Donald Glover really not use deodorant? I heard that he does it. Like using deodorant, and Ebro said he smells. Is that true?
Hey, listen, man.
It's a Reddit post.
These are conversations that's going on behind the scenes. I'm letting y'all in.
Like the scientists. He's like, I don't have that. I don't have like the security and the weed carrier, dude. I just kind of still try to do it myself.
Do you wear socks with them sneakers?
No, man.
Goodness gracious.
You don't wear deodorant in that either, do you?
No.
I can tell. Sitting there like,
every time we come on here, you're like, there's the smell. Because you said that about the sweater, too. I told you.
The sweater didn't smell.
I told you guys, like, I'm on some hippie. Man.
The sweater did smell.
It did. I'm telling. I don't wash the stuff, man. I wear it.
Don't you
right, man.
I don't wash the
I never
stuff.
interviewed ODB, but I'm thinking this is probably what it was like.
Just what? Probably.
Yeah.
Probably, man. Probably now. I mean, he's
Yeah. Right,
Okay, awkward.
We can end this whenever you want.
What, is it awkward? I'm having a great time.
Okay.
No, nigga, you stink.
I barely got
Talking about is it awkward? That's what I'm saying. People be saying I just be talking. This is what it is. We really had these conversations about these people because they come in the room, they set it off. They walk in the studio, whole studio different. Whole studio, bruh, listen. This one time, you know how you can have people come to your house and like massage you or whatever? So this black lady came to my crib, man. When I tell you, Justin, when she walked in my house, this ain't a little house. This is a house like 5,000 square feet. You hear me? But listen, Justin, whole house. She had my whole crib smelling crazy. I'm talking about every room. She was setting her stuff up in the living room. I had to call my people to hit me like, hey, I text, like, send me a text and say it's an emergency so I can get out of here. You know what I'm saying? Actually, matter of fact, I walked out to the pool whispering because I ain't want, she was a nice black lady. I didn't want to embarrass her or whatever. I didn't know her situation. But, dog, she smelled so bad, so bad. I ended up giving her, like, extra. I almost dinner gave that lady like $1,000.
Mm.
And it was only the massage was only like $200-300. But I ended up giving her 1,000 because I felt so bad. Her situation was different, you know what I mean? And I'm not her friend. I wasn't her friend to tell her that, so I didn't want to hurt her feelings, you know. And that's the thing. So somebody around Childish Gambino, he has the resources. This is the thing. People aren't even telling them that. So when y'all hear Drake's album or these people's album and it's not good, y'all like, man, why is it not good? These people won't even tell these people that they stink. How you think they're gonna tell them that their song is bad? They so scared to tell them that they smell bad. You think they're gonna tell them that they song suck?
Oh gosh. You're tuned in live, Third Verse Podcast, every Thursday morning right here on the Third Verse Podcast channel. Justin Hunt, Stat Quo, DJ More Millie. We're going to put a poll up right now. Actually, Aaron, if you're in there right now, put a poll up right now and say, will DJ pop in today?
Yes.
That is an ongoing poll that we have. What is the percentage? Last time, 70% of the people said that DJ wasn't going to be there for the main show on Tuesday. And those 70% of the audience was incorrect because DJ was right there.
Absolutely.
Now, do you want to do a few super chats before we move on to this next topic? Because I really want to get your reaction to this really fascinating report I saw in Trapital this week and just see what your thoughts on it. All right, so we got a couple of super chats. Big shout out to K-Way for real. K-Way for real. He was hilarious last night. He was hilarious last night in Culture United, as always. He says, Stat, which one is better, Reincarnated or released or the unreleased song Prayer, where he raps from the perspective of MLK's I Had a Dream speech in the Jackson 5 ABC song?
I probably would go. Well, that's tough. That's tough. That's a good question. I probably would go Prayer, only because it was original production. But I love Reincarnated because I love the Tupac. I love the Tupac version. I love Tupac's the original, and I just love when he tapped into that bag. It reminded me of when I heard Reincarnated. Eminem did this album that I think Tupac's mom, basically Eminem produced a bunch of beats over Tupac vocals. And whenever he was rapping, he tapped into that pop flow. And that's what Kendrick kind of reminded me of when he tapped into that flow on Reincarnated. I just absolutely love that song. I love that song. But Prayer is dope. I hate some of the unreleased stuff. It never comes out, man. It's some really good songs, man. Really good songs.
I'm enjoying these leaks that have been coming out over the past few months.
Me too.
Big shout out to K-Way. We got another one from K-Way for real. He says, so Stat Hitta didn't get nowhere near the smoke. Friday got one of Justin's first CUs. I mean, there's been some polarizing guests in the history of Culture United. And he's talking about Friday Ricky Dredd. Big shout out to Friday Ricky Dredd, the We Love the Hip Hop Network out of Canada, out of Toronto. Actually, I talked to him last week. And he was telling me some really cool things about this Drake Iceman rollout and how Drake was very intentional about making sure everybody in the Toronto media community also ate. You know what I'm saying? Like, just in general. Like, all this stuff that they did for this rollout, he was very conscious about, spreading the love and spreading the wealth around that. Like, that ice, part of the branding of the name Iceman was his ice company truck, right? Iceman's an actual ice company. So he basically gave them millions of dollars of free promo for 2 years. You know what I'm saying? So there are some cool things that came out of that. But Friday was on an episode with, who was on this? DJ Head. I don't know who's on the full, I think it might have been Gina, DJ Head, Curtis, Friday, and myself. I think maybe that was the panel. Maybe there's one other person.
Beat up session.
Right. So, and that turned, like, Friday, again, people have accused Culture United of not having diversity of thought. Like, these are the original ones. And Friday is from Toronto, you know what I'm saying? And it didn't go well for him in that episode. We'll just say that. And this is closer to when the battle was happening. So whatever people experience in these comment sections now was like 3-4 times more intense in terms of how polarized people were. Conversation didn't go Friday's direction, and then after the live stream, Friday does a reaction to it, and while he's reacting to it, he's starting to get more upset about how the conversation went because it felt different to him in the moment, but then after he's like, watches himself, he gets upset. He says this. He basically says this in his live stream. And then he gets really mad, and then he starts screaming on DJ Head and Curtis
really?
King. Yeah, and so he drops, he drops those social clips. And so that was like a year ago. Point is, there's been some moments in the history of this show that have turned into some other things. But
man, it's crazy how emotional people get over people having a difference of opinion. I just, people got mad at me on there last night. I wasn't trying to take Drake's side. I'm not on nobody's side. I'm just saying, I'm just on the side of my own truth and how I see it. I'm not on Drake's side. Like I said, this is not a good album, subpar. I don't care how many times y'all tell me that that song, Sweet, Sweet Baby. I don't care. I don't care if y'all tell me it's the greatest thing. It's not it. To me, I like some other songs better than that. I mean, but the one joint, Pay Me, You Gotta Pay Me or whatever that's called, that's an all-time great Drake song. That's an all-time. That got the only 10 out of me for all three projects. To me,
the thing about what K-Way is saying here is that Friday got a whole lot of smoke, but I think a lot of that has to do with how you convey your points.
Yes.
Like some people are just more inflammatory. Like if you go into a room and you're like, TDE's weird, you know what I mean? Like that.
He said that?
He said that last night. He did say that. It was after you got off.
Who said that last night?
Hitta said that last night.
For real?
Yes.
I gotta call my. Hey, listen. When we get off streamed, before we. Oh yeah, we doing a live stream for the members tomorrow. Only for the members only. Friday, right? We still doing that, right?
Yes, but we have to figure out time because I have to volunteer tomorrow. Yes, we got volunteer, but we're going to get a members only live stream up before the end of this month. So we're trying to figure out the right day because I volunteer on Fridays at the mission, and then this Friday is actually a big one. So I didn't think about that until I know we talked about it this week because our plan was to do it Friday morning too.
Yeah.
And but then I didn't think about my schedule in terms of the timing. Unless we wanted to do it later in the day, I'd be open to doing that.
We can do it later.
All right.
But
so
your man Hitta is crazy, dude.
Right. You go into a room and you start telling people TD's weird or something like that, it's going to come across different, or if you go into, like in the beginning, like his energy was very, very tough. He came in hot yesterday. And so there was a slight awkward moment that was on the line with BK. You know what I'm saying? So like, you do certain things, you're going to get certain reactions. I'm not saying that, I'm not putting this on him, but I'm saying from a general standpoint, how you convey your points, I think is a big way not to have an audience just turn against you.
I've been in this industry for a very long time, as I've said, like over 20 years. And there are a lot of weird people in this industry. It's a lot of weird label heads, and they have weird behavior, and they do funny stuff. I assure you guys, there's nothing weird about Top Dog. They call him Doo-Dog in the street. Ain't nothing weird about him. Ain't changed since I met him. Same dude. Answer the phone. What's up? What up, baby? I ain't nothing weird about that guy. So I think dude is uninformed, and he's speaking from a place of not knowing. So maybe he should be told that of what it is. Ain't nothing weird about Top, bro.
Yeah, look, I don't know which kind of weird he meant. I don't know, if he meant that, if he thought maybe their music was weird. I don't know what it is, but like it's an inflammatory statement on its own. And I know, look, it could have also been in response to a lot of energy that he's received from Kendrick fans at various points in time who say things like Drake is weird. You know what I mean? But these are entrenched fan base type fan stand war things to do, and you will lose the comment section pretty quickly with that. So.
Nah, ain't nothing weird about Jermaine. That ain't even an energy right there. Actually, it's too real sometimes. That's what that is.
Right.
That's why we get along.
Word up. Let's move on to the next super chat right here. We have Fanto says, I reported Hitta to police. He stole Neo's hat.
Hey, yo, can I tell you? You brought Neo's name up, dog. Listen, I think I said this story.
Don't tell me he stank too. Please don't. Okay.
No. So
Just making sure.
my son's mother went to high school with Neo, and his sister and her, they were like best friends. Anyway, one Thanksgiving, I'm at Neo's house. We had Thanksgiving dinner at his crib, so he in there playing a video game, and he doesn't have a hat on. First time I ever seen him without a hat. And so I walked in the room. I'm like, "What's up, dog?" And I told him in that room, you probably don't remember this. I said, "Bruh, the moment you stop wearing a hat, I'm taking mine off. Because if you debut that head to the people, I know I can rock my joint." You know what I'm saying?
Yo, Memphis Bleak debuted his head.
Put your hat back on. Put your hat back on, bruh. Hey, yo, you know Jimmy Iovine, right?
Yeah.
He said once he became a billionaire, he wasn't gonna wear a hat no more. He was gonna take his hat off. Because he used to wear a hat all the time. And I've been seeing him, he don't wear the hat as much. So maybe I think when you pass the $1 billion threshold, you'll be okay with not wearing a hat. Because right now I'm not a billionaire, and so we ride. You feel me?
200 mil.
And I'm still gonna be wearing a hat because I need $1 billion. So no. Back to the question. DJ Hitta did not have Neo's hat because Neo's still rocking that hat because he need to. Because that's when they talk about aliens, it's one underneath that hat, dog. For sure.
Let's do one more super chat and then we will come back. This is from Andy Panda Pie. She says, female rappers are judged so harshly to an extreme, but Drake makes trash and people glaze it no matter what, and they hate on his competitors. We have one more from Andy Panda, and she says, chat can't be offensive, but you can.
Offensive how?
This is subjective. I look at this completely subjective.
Okay, well, I'm not saying chat can't be offensive. I'm just saying, I'm just pointing it out. Because most times they don't even see it. DJ Dude didn't see that. I saw it because I wanted to look at it. You know what I mean? I'm like, yes. But yeah, y'all, let me tell you something. Y'all can say whatever you want to say. But you can't tell me how to respond to what you say. That's my thing. So you can say what you want to say. And as far as being offensive, if you take anything that I say offensive, that's fine. I'm not mad at that. I'm not up here trying to offend. I'm just speaking my opinion on certain things. You know what I mean? But sometimes when you don't know me, it comes off that way. You have to know a person, and hopefully you guys get to know me better. Most times I'm just trying to crack a joke and have a good time. You know what I mean? So sorry if you offended, but we appreciate you your super chat, and we appreciate you being a part of the community. Much love to you, sister.
Word up. All right, so I want to share the screen real quick because I actually really found this really fascinating. I want to get your response. So this is actually a K-pop thing, right? And this is from Trapital, the latest Trapital newsletter. Are you familiar with Trapital? Dan Runcie?
No.
Trapital is an incredible organization. It's really Dan, and he puts out a Substack, a newsletter, but he's built an organization around it, and he has put together one of the most elite annual conferences with music industry CEOs, et cetera. Ghazi's been there. He's had Troy Carter has spoken there. You know, a lot of CEOs of all these labels are a part of this conference he puts together. They're also a really big part of Trapital. So I look at Trapital as one of the key, if not, top 3-4 places to get information on what's happening in the business of selling music. And this newsletter yesterday really blew my mind. It says why BTS fans aren't K-pop fans, right? Why the band BTS fans aren't K-pop fans. In a recent report from Will Page and Jongbom JB Kim, Chief Data Officer at the Korean-based Creators Network, they shared that the top 5 acts in K-pop, Blackpink, BTS, K-pop Demon Hunters, Stray Kids, and Twice, captured 45% of the genre's global audio streams in 2025. 45%. So this is the entire audio stream marketplace for K-pop. And these 5 bands have 45% of the overall market share. And so these fans are more K-pop fans or BTS fans than they are K-pop fans, right? The article continues. It says, it's a compelling stat, but music is inherently top-heavy. So I asked Will, how does this compare to other genres? He and JB compiled the data to compare, which makes K-pop's concentration stand out even more. Country, top 5 acts, Morgan Wallen, Elliott Gross, Zach Bryan, Luke Combs, Jelly Roll, and Chris Stapleton, which accounted for 19.9% of global audio streams in 2025. So in country, it's only 20%. Rock, it's 6.1% between Coldplay, Linkin Park, Imagine Dragons, Miss Green Apple, and Arctic Monkeys. Latin, it's Bad Bunny, Fuerza Regida, Karol G, Junior H, and Tito Double P, which accounted for 6%. So this is Will's take on the dynamic that he shared in our episode. Benny Cho nailed it when he says, you're a fan of BTS, you're not a fan of K-pop. You're a fan of Stray Kids, you're not a fan of K-pop. K-pop is a brand in the mainstream conversation, but the way that you associate with bands is you're not looking around. And so what this was really saying is that K-pop was focused on superfans. They're focused on bringing a product to the people who would spend the most money on any of these acts. And as a byproduct, you have artists that are literally bigger than the genre. And it stands out to me because this has been a move that the music industry over here has been moving towards. Let's put more money into the biggest artists or the artists with the fans that have the most number of fans who are willing to spend the money in the most number of different ways. And let's move in that direction. And by the numbers now, it looks like we're getting to a point, at least in K-pop, there's artists that are bigger than the genre. Is this a healthy direction for the rap industry to move into?
It's just indicative of what's going on in the world. Out here in California, I think the minimum you can pay someone is $20 an hour to work at a fast food restaurant. They passed that law, right? So then we watch the fast food prices go up, right? And the public suffers because it's like, I'm not going to spend $40 at McDonald's. On top of the fact, if you start somebody with $20 and they've been working there for 3-4 years, what they're going to want to raise, right? So the only way for the company to continue to make money is to raise the prices to pay the people that's working there, and then the general public suffers. Music, how it relates back. Have all these companies with these different employees. As everything goes up, gas, food, all these different prices, the people that are working are demanding to make more money because the economy is changing. Okay, labels have to pay more money. These companies have to pay people more money. Then what happens? Companies become, instead of trying to just put out product that's great, they become, we got to make more money. So then they focus on the things that will get them to the more money, which is you start focusing more on the top heavy acts because more people are consuming it. So you put more money into those instead of grooming younger and newer talent that could potentially be there. You put more money on guarantees. Like, it's more like, DJ said it, working at labels, they're more like research departments now. They're not signing artists based on the talent. They're signing artists based on the momentum that they have generated on their own, because they don't want to take that money and risk signing something because they think it's talented. They want to sign something that's already has motion. To you young artists that think you're going to go get a record deal and they're going to promote you, they're going to tell you, are you posting on your Instagram? Are you posting on your TikTok? These are things you should be doing anyway. But this is how they're marketing most of these projects now. This is their main marketing tool, is you post on your Instagram and TikTok, and then we're going to run ads to your posts. You can do that your damn self. You know what I'm saying? But yet still they have people working at the companies that are making these salaries, and they're having to keep paying them, right? Which is making these CEOs and chairmen say, you know what? Okay, instead of spending $10 million on developing new talent, we're going to take that $10 million and we're going to put that to Drake, Kendrick, Taylor Swift, all the top heavy shit that's going on at the company. So that's kind of like what's going on in music.
Yeah, I mean, and I think it's even past just music. Like when you're talking about McDonald's is a great example. We don't have, the wealth gap is gone. The middle class is shrinking. Either you're, balling or broke. you know? And I think the music industry is just another place where that's happening, you know? So it's another thing that, and I think that I think what's going to happen with that is you're also going to find the media's reaction will be, I think the media reaction to certain things that are happening now is in line with that direction. You said it, right? The Cowboys, LeBron, you know, all the polarizing people dominate the conversation in sports. You know that's what people are going to talk about on ESPN because that's just generally where most people care about, you know? And there's all kinds of ways to approach how you're going to talk about those people, but like, if the majority of the people care about certain topics, is it crazy to think you should talk about them?
Yeah. How many times have you guys seen a conversation where they say, is Jordan better than LeBron? Is LeBron better than Kobe? Like that. How many sports shows you guys have turned on to see that? They do that because y'all don't want to hear about the Avita that played for the Portland Trail Blazers, but he was averaging 28 points a game. You know what I'm saying? Y'all want to hear about the big names. Now they putting Wimmy and hyping him up so he can be in that conversation. You know what I mean? To be one of those guys. But this is how these companies make the money because they have advertisers that they're beholden to that are saying, hey, how many people are watching what you're doing? And that's how you get paid. You know what I mean? The third verse, we're a self-funded company here. So me being a business person, I push my man here in certain directions that I know he probably don't want to go in sometimes, which is, man, are we really got to talk about this again? I'm like, yes, we need to talk about it again. Yes. That's why when Justin asked me, I said, I hope Drake disses people on every 18 songs, and goddamn it, that's what my man did. He dissed everybody on all the songs because we are looking at the numbers. I'm looking at them. You know, do I want to come on here and talk about Marco Plus? Do I want to talk about Nick Grant's album and how great it is? Absolutely. Great project. Phenomenal. He got 10 songs on it. It's dope. But man, if we did that, we ain't gonna get nobody looking at what we doing. It's the same thing with ESPN. They managed to still talk about the Lakers and LeBron and the Cowboys. They talk about the Cowboys when it's not even a football season. Football long gone. Everybody went home. Ain't nobody playing football. The World Series on. They found a way to talk about the Cowboys. Like the Cowboys is right here.
Which
So
is
it's
crazy because
same
they
thing with
haven't
LeBron.
won. Which is crazy because they haven't won a Super Bowl since big back televisions.
Dog, because they're just polarizing and Cowboy fans want to hear it. The same thing with Drake and Kendrick. People want to hear you talk about the stuff that they care about. You know what I mean? Like Fox News, for instance. You know, I'm not. You know, it's people on Fox News that feel differently about the things they have to report on. You know, it's people on CNN that feel differently about the things they have to report on. They have to do it. They don't have a choice or they will lose their jobs because the majority of people that go to these stations they're going there to hear, they're going there for a place so they can hear that their opinions align with the people that's talking. Culture United, we're going to put you under the microscope. People go there because they know there's a certain opinion that you align with, that they align with. So when I come in and I say anything contrary to the opinion, I'm immediately, somebody got something bad to say about me. Which for me, I accept it. It's cool. But my thing is, as a human being that wants to grow and be a better person, what's wrong with hearing other people's perspectives? It only makes you better so you can have a better understanding and see things from a different point of view. You don't have to agree. That's fine. But man, let me tell you why I see it this way. I wasn't born and I didn't live the life you live, and you didn't live the life I live. So this is why I see certain things the way I see it. You haven't experienced what I've experienced. But with these networks, they don't have a choice. At least on Culture United, and which I respect you for, you allow people to come up there that have different opinions. And in this third verse, this is why we come together, because we have different opinions, but we definitely align on a lot of things as well. And I have learned so much sitting up here, being around you, talking to you. It's dope because it's making me become a better person. And I've taught you some things. Like let y'all know Justin had his card just running it up. He ain't even
This is crazy what happened yesterday. Tell the story. That's crazy.
I called just so we we got this thing where we have to pay for certain things because it's part of a business. But we have a company card that we supposed to pay for it. So Aaron is a guy, he does a lot of our stuff, and I'm looking at the account, the money's not coming out. I'm like, what is going on? I called Justin. I'm like, dog, what's happening with the thing? He looking. Oh my goodness, it's coming out of my car. I'm like, dog, you don't be paying attention to your money, bro. But this what I'm saying though. This what I'm saying. I am down to the penny. Like me and DJ literally goes in every day. It's certain, like to the penny, his account has to be a certain way. So he'll move money around to the penny so it reflects a certain. He like Rain Man. I'm similar. Like I'm looking at my money every day. This dude Justin just going through life. He's just going through life. Just money being deducted from his bank account. He's not giving up. He don't care about nothing. Well, I got enough money to eat today. What a day! Like this guy is like, Justin, this is not something you're supposed to be paying for. This is company expenses. He's like, yo, I'm like, dog, what are you doing? I'm like, man, go spend some money on the card or something, bro, because you tripping.
Because we set up this account with my card at the beginning while we're waiting for the channel to get fully set up, and then the channel gets fully set up, and then I think we did something to where we put the company card on the account because it was already there. But for some reason, I didn't take my card off. So,
you don't pay attention to that. That's what I'm saying.
I wasn't even paying attention to it, to be honest.
So that's the thing. That's the balance here, guys. Because right. Justin will get up here. He doesn't want to cover Drake all the time. I'm gonna tell y'all this. He don't want to talk about this all the time. He would rather be talking about something else. We talked about it ad nauseum. But guess what? He got a partner here that's telling him, no. Because in August, when nobody cares about this album, we're going to have to drag our way through it and pray that Kendrick drops something. Because y'all don't care about nothing else. Y'all don't care about nothing else. Just admit it. We don't care about these other projects that's supposed to be coming out. Y'all don't care, man. Just be honest with yourselves. Y'all don't care about these dope new young rap hip hop artists.
I'll say this. I think a lot of our audience actually really does care, but I also will say that the algorithm doesn't care, so they won't share it the same way. Because that's a huge part of it. It's a lot of it's not even just individual audiences. It's how will your conversation or this unique URL or this piece of content, how will this be marketed through the algorithm to other people? That's a huge part of the game.
I love Rory and Maul. I think they have a good podcast, but they were in the top 10 simply because Maul has a relationship with Drake. You was nowhere to be found on that list. FB Certified was nowhere to be found on that list. Curtis King was nowhere to be found on this list. It's different people that are in the space that people love and love their opinion. Glasses Malone was not on that list. No Jumper was not on that list. It's a bunch of people that weren't on the list, right? But because you guys aren't covering this all the time. That's what I'm trying to say. It's not cool, but it's just the way of the world. It's the way of the world, man. It's the way of the world. And when you talk about finances, you lean towards the thing that people want to hear. If people want to talk, like Netflix got podcasts on Netflix. They didn't do that because they was like, you know what? We want to get some podcasts up here. We want to diversify our portfolio. No, they said, man, YouTube getting all that money? Nah, we're going to bring some of that over here because we come on over to Netflix. Come pay this $30 a month, which they just went up on the fee again. I'm about to get rid of Netflix, dog. Hey, we need to buck on Netflix. All of us need to let that go. They need to go back down to $9.99, man. That's crazy. They about to go up again. $30 for one channel? That used to be all the channels, bruh. You can get all the channels. I don't want to sound old, but you can get all the channels for a hot 30, dog.
You couldn't get HBO though.
No, you had to pay the $8
Yeah,
for
yeah,
that.
you had to get the when you started wanting to get a premium channels.
Yeah,
You might get
the
ESPN.
premium.
You get everything with commercials. You didn't get any
But,
of the stuff without
but
commercials.
but let me tell you what they did. This is real back in the days. The premium channels would squiggle through.
Yes,
So
that's
you
true.
can go to the squiggle, man.
I used to watch the
Listen,
Squiggles now.
listen. Not to put y'all in my business, but my first intimate moment with myself came from the squiggly channel.
The Squiggles. The Squiggles.
The
Yo, 'cause
squiggles.
the Squiggles
It's just
sometimes,
about you.
because the sound was pretty clear. The sound was fine. Like, and
All I needed, listen, you know what I used to say? One moan to get you home. You know what I'm saying?
the audio was
One moan to
fine.
get you home.
Sometimes the squiggle would pause, like it would pause in like a section where you could actually kind of see what's happening. You're like,
Listen,
the
dog.
moment gets more intense.
Listen, Justin. Listen, man. I had to wipe the TV off. I was all up in it. I'm close to that thing. Going to work over. One moan to get him home.
That's crazy. It didn't take much. It didn't take much back then.
Come on, bro.
It was
Listen.
like I used to like it's like back in the days when like you first start drinking, all it takes is like a half a beer. I used to
man.
like no, it didn't take much. The Squiggles, it's like you needed.
Hey, bro, listen. Hey, listen. Your boy was harder. I was harder than Chinese arithmetic. Boy.
Oh gosh. Okay, now we're getting a little too descriptive now.
So my bad. I'm sorry. I'm just letting you know how it went down. The squiggles. Anybody can relate. Yeah, you know they shut that all the way down because now it's the apps. But back in the day,
The Squiggles
was all we had, bro.
It was everything. Squiggles was everything for real.
Did you?
Yeah.
Were you young enough for the box?
The video show.
The video box. Well,
Yeah.
basically
You pay money to watch a video?
I never had no money,
Right.
so I was just beholden to whatever else everybody else was paying.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean,
that's what I did too.
I just want-
Yo, that was the best place to find Thuggish Ruggish Bone video. They ran that up. Steve Lobel
Dog,
ran that up on
they
the box.
ran that to death, dog.
Yeah, that shit was great.
I love that song.
Gotta get him out, nothing to the gut, pop, pop with a drop with a butt shot, blow.
Oh,
That's just so good.
I love the end. She's like, you got lazy and crazy,
Wishes in the house. Wishes in the house.
And then she said, and flash. Wait, who else? And
Tasha. And
Come on, man.
where?
Cleveland.
Cleveland. Yeah.
Oh, dog. Y'all don't know nothing
Oh,
about that.
man.
Y'all better get down what we talking about right now.
It's one of
That
them.
Thuggish Ruggish Bone was, and
That was the
yo,
truth.
it's a lot of Bone disrespect too when they talk about some of the greatest groups in hip hop history. Nobody ever want to mention Bone, dog. Bone. They did that.
And their influences looms large, man. Like
Absolutely.
Justin Timberlake, Nelly Furtado, any of these guys who are rapping and harmonizing, like, you know,
Mariah Carey.
break down. Yeah.
Smash.
They're just an amazing group. Amazing group.
Shout out to my dog Steve Lobel, man. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Shout out to Steve.
Word up. Steve Lobel. All right, I'm gonna do a couple super chats and move on to the next story after that.
Let's get super chat. Even the ones that's dogging me out, I want to talk. I want to address them because I see old girl got something up here.
Andy Pandy.
Yes,
You're the anti-hero, Stat. This is what comes with it.
that's true. I understand. I respect it. Yo, listen. I understand, y'all. It's my role in the show. It's cool. I mean, I hope when we do have an event, some of you guys, we invite y'all out. Y'all get to meet me in person. You know, it's not that bad in real life. I'm just a very opinionated person. I say how I feel. I know some of the things I say might rub you the wrong way, but at the end of the day, I mean well. And there's certain topics I never discuss. I try to stay away from certain things that I know that's you guys that want to kill me in public. So I don't even talk about them. You know what I mean? I don't even bring them up. I keep my mouth closed. When it got political, when Justin got political last night, I was a church mouse. You see, I ain't say nothing. Like a good.
I
stat.
didn't get political.
You put the sign up there, so it got political.
That is something that came out through the music.
That's true, but I'm saying it wasn't your fault. But I just I don't agree when people impose politics in a space where that's not what the people are asking. So I didn't agree with MAGA putting the chain on Drake.
Yeah.
I never want to see a MAGA chain on Michael Jackson's glove. I just don't want to see it.
That is
I don't ever wanna see it.
it's a
I
weighty.
don't even want to
it's a
see a
weighty
MAGA
image.
chain. I don't want to see a MAGA chain. I don't want to see a Democrat chain. I don't want to see chains in politics. I don't want to see a change in that because when you put it in politics, then it really I start thinking about the chains of slaves. It hit me a different way. I start thinking about that. You know what I mean? So that's why it take me to a place where I don't want to be.
That's crazy. And Drake be dropping all the weird slave lines.
Hey.
Dang, there's layers to this.
I don't want to go there.
Oh my God, that's why he says whip and chain you like American slaves.
This is
God, this is why he says you rap it like you're trying to get the slaves freed. Oh, it is another layer of alignment.
He should have said that.
Oh gosh.
I can't believe he said that. As a person that likes Drake's music, he shouldn't have said that. He should have thought. But that let me know is the circle around him is either too afraid to tell him, or they are tone deaf to it because they are Canadians. Certain sensitivities that you got to think about when you say certain things at his level. You know what I mean? It's like us. We get more responsibility as we grow bigger. We have to be more responsible with some of the things we say.
For sure, 100%. Because that's something I do value heavily. I try to, my absolute best is a very conscious thought to be responsible with what I say in this microphone. And it's been that way for a long time. Like even in prose, editorial, things I was writing. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that is one of the responsibilities that comes with this blessing. You know what I mean? You have an opportunity. If people are listening to you. It's like Fonte, my favorite Fonte lyrics from Little Brother. People is listening now, so I better have something to say to them. What am I gonna say? You know. So shout out to K-Way for real. He says Justin makes Ficky. That's the remix. Justin, make sure you get a comfortable chair and a physio ball to sit on. All that streaming can mess up your lower back. Comfortable, breathable briefs too, for future kid purposes. Check. Thank you, my brother. Let's say 1 second applause again. Yo, I appreciate that. But that's the truth. I've been streaming a lot, man.
Yeah, I put a lot. I got a pillow back behind me right now.
Yeah, me too.
I'm going Charles Barkley with the fit. I'm Winnie the Pooh. I'm Winnie the Pooh right now. You know what I mean?
Charles Barkley with the fit.
Because Charles Barkley say he don't wear underwear. You know what I'm saying? So that's like Winnie the Pooh. He just had the shirt on. Right. Winnie the Pooh style. You know what I mean?
Winnie the Pooh running around with
Winnie the Pooh just had the shirt. Nothing else going on. Winnie was out there, dog.
Stat got the imagery today. Third Verse Podcast, vivid imagery. Winnie the Pooh style. That's crazy. Appreciate that, K-Way. Blue Slide says the record label didn't want CeeLo on Happy.
Well, CeeLo didn't like the song. So there you go. I mean, you know, he didn't like the song. So, I mean, CeeLo did an interview and talked about it. He didn't think it was for him. And, you know, nobody when I told y'all that nobody want to talk about when they missed. I'll tell y'all when I missed. I don't mind. So people like, man, I told to give y'all a story. Somebody's like, man, you shouldn't say that out loud. Like, why not? I'm not perfect. I missed. I knew he was incredibly talented. I missed. I was cheap. I didn't want to spend the money at the time. I messed up. Like, acknowledge your imperfections because it makes you better long term. I acknowledge when I'm wrong, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do too. It's really easy for me to be like, oh, I got that wrong. It's very easy for me to be like, oh, my mistake, my bad. Yeah. Thank you for helping me out. It becomes a problem when people try to like, they know they're wrong, but they don't want to admit it. I can't stand that. Even especially in my personal life. Don't be over, you know you're wrong, but you want me to still try to make me the one that has to sympathize with you? That sounds crazy. You don't like me at all.
Isn't that gaslighting? That's what gaslighting is?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, that's some of that gaslighting. They got new triggered, gaslighting, ghosting. These are new words that are coming out of the space. You know what I mean?
Relatively.
They're not new. They're not new, I guess. People have been using them. New to me.
Yeah, that's a real thing. I had to deal with that a lot lately. I don't want to get into the details, but it's like Wait a minute.
Please don't.
Right. I don't want to-
Without
I don't want to get
divulging
too detailed.
Justin's business, but I am gonna call Justin is Carlito.
I don't even know if that's. I don't know if I appreciate that one.
Every time I get out, they pull me back in.
No, that's not even happening. That's not actually happening. But that's actually not happening. But there is a.
Yes.
But it's really just a feeling of like, yo, like, wait a minute, you're the one attacking me, and then when you are incorrect, it's my responsibility to make you feel better about that. That is a very hard thing for me to reconcile. You know what I'm saying? I don't do well in those situations at all. At all.
Listen, I think this is the most personal you've ever been on Third Verse.
Probably.
Yeah,
Probably.
I'm glad to hear it. Open on up, my friend. Come on.
I've been working on that over the past a couple of years, though. Like, just trying to be more. It's it's a big difference because I don't know if people realize that like probably 70%, 75% of my career was writing in third person. I wouldn't use words like I or me in almost anything that I did, and so it is a very conscious shift to. Actually be a person. I was always someone who tried to take myself out of a story with intention. Tell the story with me in it without coming from necessarily my point of view. So I'm trying to be more vulnerable. I'm trying to be more open. It's all about growth, baby. It's all about growth.
Whenever we have a conversation about anything and you take a different side of what I might think you should be taking, I think about all the things I know about you personally to get a better understanding of why you feel how you feel. And I do that with generally anyone that I try to have a conversation with, and I might not agree with what they say. I always take perspectives, and I take like the reason of what they have been through of why they feel how they feel. Yeah. I'll just listen to what they say and just like try to jump on them. I'm like, wait a minute, okay, he did this. What he's like, he's from here. Okay, his family. Okay. Now let's have a real in-depth conversation. Let's go about it the right way. You know what I mean?
Very. Yeah. Shout out to Will Thompson Fargo says someone last night had a super chat saying the beef started with Control. I wish Stat was there to note the Heart Part 2 dropped 3 years prior.
Yeah, I don't think it started with Control. I just think it's a competitive thing. You know what I mean? The competitive nature of MCs. What it is, man. Kendrick said it on Control, but it's everyone's fighting for the same ears. You don't get into rap. I mean, when I was doing it, you're not in this trying to be the second best. Like guys that go to the NBA.
Unless you're J. Cole.
You're not trying like Wembanyama. You think he wasn't mad that Shake got the MVP? He want to be the MVP. You think them other players are looking at the playoffs right now and they're like, man, I'm glad OKC in there. They want to be in there. This is a competitive thing. And our battleground are you guys. It's the fans. You think me and Justin and DJ are doing the third verse so we can not be one of the bigger platforms? You think Culture United, you think Justin stayed up till he streamed for 8 hours yesterday because he don't want to be mentioned amongst the greats and what he's doing? Like, this is what it is. It's competitive. We want to be the best. So Kendrick and Drake, they're fighting to be the best. Now Kendrick happens to be that guy right now, and Drake is not comfortable with being number 2. So he's trying to get out of that spot. And in his mind, and in a lot of fans' minds, he's still number 1 because they base everything on sales. Which, that's fine for you to feel that way. But like Tupac said, crack was popular. That don't mean it's good. So just because something more popular than something else don't mean it's actually better than something else. It just means that it's more popular. So, they sold a whole lot of crack, but that wasn't good for nobody. So you can't go with that. It
was good for George Clinton. George Clinton said he said that people don't die from crack, they die from what you have to do to get crack. He's got money, he doesn't have to worry about that.
Oh man.
He told me that on record. One of my favorite conversations ever.
He's allowed to have his perspective.
Yes.
He's allowed to have that.
I think the other side of it is, imagine who he could have been. Like we're talking about still to this day, one of the most transformative musicians, period. But what would have looked like without it, right? Does it transcend even more, or does it like actually not do that? You know, I'm not using and take away from George Clinton, but like that dynamic is something I used to think about a lot before I went sober. And I think that actually life is better for me on the other side personally.
So Mr. College Park, he did a bunch of songs for Yin Yang Twins and the Yin Yang Twins hits, and then Soldier Boy. We had a session, and I smoked weed, and then I wrote the song to his beat. This was back in the day, and the lyrics was incredible. It scared me to death, and I didn't smoke after that because I never wanted to be dependent on. I never wanted to feel dependent on the weed in order to make dope stuff.
Right.
I probably would have been a much better artist had I got high, honestly, because I would have been a lot more. It allows you to be more free, and it takes because you look at a lot of the artists. These people are addicts, most of them. That's another thing that's not discussed. That's why I said something's going on with Drake. Like, you know, it be addictions in there, alcohol, you know, drugs. These people be going through it. Y'all don't even know it. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't even be knowing. We know it. I'm behind the curtains. These people be getting rehab left and right. You know what I mean? If they did a reality show on all these different joint ventures and labels and what goes on behind the scenes and with these artists that y'all love and situations with their girlfriends or boyfriends and, you know what I'm saying, domestic disputes, and man, it's so crazy. I definitely would make the music more interesting. It definitely would.
It's funny. It's funny you said that about smoking weed, because I actually did something very similar when I was working at the bank, and I realized I wanted to start writing about rap music. I was benchmarking my stuff against other people, but I started writing because I was smoking so much weed when I was off work, and I just felt like, you know, a bunch of inspiration that would just flow easily. But once I got serious about it, I was like, all right, the first thing I got to do right now is see if I still write well without the weed. And so I spent like another 18 months, almost 2 years, writing and blogging intentionally, not drinking, not smoking anything. Right? I just needed to see, because there was no way I was going to pivot from that career to one where it's to any other career, to this career that was tied to substances of any kind. Like, I was like, wait a minute, this could be awesome, but am I dope or am I high? I can't remember. You know what I'm saying?
You get caught up. You
get
don't
caught up.
You don't know. You don't freaking know what you got going on. You just in the moment of it, and then you go back and listen to it. It sounds so crazy. Like, I wrote that. Like, yo, like, I remember that rhyme. Them 2 verses was crazy. I wrote over them songs.
Yeah.
I was like, that's some of the best stuff I ever wrote, and it made me scared. I have an addictive personality. You know what I'm saying? That's why food is so tough for me. Like, I love to eat, Justin. Like, y'all gonna see, I'm like Oprah Winfrey. I'm up and down with this thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta fast, not eat. Like, it's just something I really struggle with because I love good food. And so I know if I was to do alcohol or drugs or something, I'd be around here. I'd be a fiend because I'm into the feeling. You know what I mean? I'm into the feeling.
Yeah. There's a really great Jamaican jerk spot that just opened in downtown, man. You guys gotta check it out.
I'm gonna check them out. Justin called me. They had he got the oxtail with the Rasta pasta. $25 too, good price.
$25, good price, great portion sizes. I'm talking something. I asked him how big these oxtail were, because like my biggest pet peeve is going into these spots and I get the oxtail and it'd be like, these little oxtail right here with this little. You know, it's hard to get out here in the West Coast. West Coast, that's one thing that I learned when I moved out here. The East Coast got the whole diaspora. You know what I mean? They got black people from Africa, they got black people from Caribbean, they got black people from just here, everything, all the cities. You drive up and down 85, 95, every type of black food you ever want, every type of black culture you ever gonna see, you can get that, because the full diaspora is there in mass, right? And that's not the case out here. Like, LA really only has black people. Don't get me wrong, there's people from the Caribbean, there's people from Africa, but not like there is on the East Coast. right?
Yeah.
But what LA has is the full Asian diaspora and the full Latin diaspora in a very different way. And so when you're trying to get certain things, it's tough. That's why we talk about fixins so much, because fixins is probably the easiest, best price, best experience you can find on some soul food out here, on a very consistent basis, right?
Well, you don't have to worry about getting banged on.
See, someone said that that's not true. Someone told me that the other day. Who said that? I feel like you were there. Didn't somebody say that they saw somebody give? Oh, Loyal said that.
It was a shooting in there.
Okay.
That's what happened. But that's a close. Listen. Don't take that as it's not bad, y'all. That was a rare thing. Dude, that was a hit. They was going to get that dude. He was there because he thought he was safe. It's literally by Staples Center. So, like, he thought he was safe. That's why he was there. But some of these other soul food restaurants, they're really great. But in LA, you got to be careful with the neighborhood thing. You can't just pull up to a neighborhood being a black male, because they're going to ask you where you from. And the reason why they ask you where you from, just give y'all some education, is because there have been many of people that have went into these neighborhoods and killed people, posing not, from another opposite gang. So they immediately like, yo, where you from? Because I need to know who you are if I need to, be ready for it. Because this is a war zone that you just over here trying to get some barbecue chicken. You know what I mean?
Right.
But fixins, you don't have to worry about that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's right by Staples Center. It's good food. So yes, Loyal was telling us there was a shooting there. It was. But that guy was particularly into something else. It wasn't like you go in there like you on Crenshaw or something like that.
Right.
I don't play around. When I had that incident out here, I do not play around. I keep it all the way. Like what Kendrick say, if you don't go below the 10, Kendrick, I do not go below the 10.
Right.
I don't. I go to the only time I'm around that area is to the airport. That's it. I don't play around. LA ain't nothing. Y'all ain't been out here. This place ain't nothing to play with.
It's true.
It's nothing to play with.
I had there's somebody in the comment that said it's out here. Look around. Talking about soul food out here. It's like we got to look around. No, I understand that it's here. Don't get me wrong. I've had plenty of places that have like great soul food. It's just not in volume the way it is on the East Coast. And it's not even just soul food. It's like every type of black diaspora type food you can find it's almost like McDonald's in a way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that type of, it's not like that in the same way. But it is like that with Asian. Like when I moved here, I moved into East Hollywood. East Hollywood, on the other side of Wilton, is where Little Armenia starts. Okay, I never lived in a city that had Little Armenia, first off. Little Armenia starts. And inside of Little Armenia is Little Thai Town. Right?
Yep.
That was in
Thai
Hollywood.
restaurants over there.
Great Thai restaurants. And then you follow Hollywood or Sunset down, and then now you're in Koreatown. And then you follow that around, and then you're in Chinatown, and now Little Tokyo. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is a whole diaspora down the block from each other, which it's beautiful, it's gorgeous, it's amazing. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's another reason why I love downtown so much. That's why I love the East Side so much, is because you get so many different cultures really quickly. Right on the other side of the bridge, you've got Boyle Heights and East LA. You know what I'm saying? So that is just one of those beautiful things. But it's a different diaspora that's represented on this coast, and I think it makes perfect sense as to why this is the case.
Over there by Fairfax, like down by below Wilshire, they got the little Ethiopia. I think Issa Rae was filming a lot of Insecure over there, but they got like 4 or 5 Ethiopian restaurants. When I was vegan, I used to always go over there and get my vegan stuff. You know what I mean? But that's a good, if you want to experience Ethiopian food, that's good. Just a good little spot for you to check out. But yeah, in general, it's not like, I'm from Atlanta, so it's soul food on every block. You from Carolina, so same thing with you. So it's definitely different. It's like out here, you can get a taco when you can't get nothing else.
For real.
I'm talking about, there's a taco everywhere. You're not going nowhere in LA, you can't get no taco. Right. San Diego too, taco, you getting the taco. Right. You can get some fried rice. You can get some. They got that Korean bar. If you go to Koreatown, it's got to be a million Korean barbecue places.
For real.
It's that little small. I'm like, how do they all make money?
Or ramen
Like,
or ramen spots,
ramen.
like
Oh my
ramen
God.
everywhere. You know what I mean?
I didn't even know ramen was a thing. I always thought ramen was poor people food till I came out here.
Top ramen. That's what I was eating.
I thought you had ramen like a real like
It's
bougie.
It's a delicacy.
I definitely thought that was some broke shit.
Me
That's
too.
like
That's what I grew up eating that. You know, my parents bought it for me for after school snacks, and then in college I lived on it. Like if Burwell wasn't open, or if Chick-fil-A or whatever wasn't open, top ramen.
No, imagine going somewhere and it's a bologna sandwich restaurant. Like imagine y'all pull up to a city and they got a big bologna sandwich on the outside of it, or a big spam sandwich on the outside of it. You're gonna be like, where in the hell is I'm at? That's how I felt. I said they got whole places where they sell nothing but ramen.
Yeah.
You know, ramen 25 cents.
And it's fantastic too. It's amazing.
Oh, I love it. I like
amazing.
Ginya, which is more like a.
It's a bougier one. It's the one you
It's a
get out here.
bougier one.
Yeah, it's the one you get out here. Yeah, they got them joints in Little Tokyo. That's where I picked them up too.
I like bougie. I like bougie. I do. I love bougie. Okay? Sue me, guys. I like bougie. I like to feel bougie. You know what I mean? I want the service. I want a good napkin. You know what I mean? I want to feel good about where I'm at. That's my only problem with Jamaican restaurants. I asked you that yesterday. I don't know what it is, but some of the people that work in Jamaican restaurants, it's not just the women, it's the men too. You go in there, they are so rude. Rude. What you want? Why you want blood clot, that pussy clot? What do you want, Bob? You want the Australia boy, huh? You want what you want, Bob? I'm like, dog, what do you mean? Excuse me, how can I help you? Where's the service at? What did I do to you? I'm just in here trying to buy the food. It's crazy. They so mean, the Jamaican restaurants, bro.
Cultural differences.
They're mean, Justin.
Or direct.
They're mean. That pussy clot boy, you want to come and get the oxtail and the rice and peas and the jerk chicken? No? You want the chicken, boy? Get out of my restaurant. Leave that boy, you pussy man. This you want to get out. Get out of here, somehow.
Maybe it's mean. Maybe it's mean in comparison.
Man, they mean, dog.
Let's move on to super chats. One thing I do want to say about Will Thompson's right here is I think that Kendrick and Drake, the MTV's hottest list, I think was a big part of that too. When Kendrick was the hottest MC, I think 2011, maybe 2012. I think 2011, whatever that was. And then Josie Freestyle and all that stuff came after. Big shout out to Will Thompson. We got Shy Nose. Why can't Hitta big up Drake without insulting Dot and TDE? And I think that is also a byproduct of Stan Wars, because I'm pretty sure that there's a huge swath of Drake fans that feel the same way about a lot of people they encounter who are Kendrick fans. You know what I mean? I think that's what it is. And I think, and look, and Hitta came in hot. Hey, so what do you think about the music? Drake's the GOAT! You know, like he came in hot, you know, and so that's going to elicit a different type of reaction. And then now he's seeing the reaction, so now he wants to, you know, say different things in different places. But I also think that is just where we're at, I think, after all this happened. Because, like, there's got to be Drake fans who are like, how come you got to point out all the things that are wrong with Drake's songs all the time? How come you don't point out the things that are right? And for me personally, some of those things are just so loud because they are connected to broader things that are happening in culture in general that I just don't support. You know what I mean? Like, not even just the political nature of certain things, but just the narrow nature of where conversations have gotten, right? Music is now marketing for the most part. You know, there's a quote right here. Let's play this real fast. This is from JPEGMafia, right? JPEGMafia's got this quote here that, you know, is, I think, really indicative of where things are now, which is just not where I'm from. This is not a landscape that, you know, I have grown up in. So here's JPEGMafia.
That it doesn't need whatever's going on now because people are doing the same thing. These really big labels are just I guess they're tired of signing kids from the projects who don't know any better, so they're just putting their own kids in there, so it's just all kind of nepo baby music or something. But that's why people are probably fatigued at it, because most of these nepo babies don't have really shit to say. And rap has always been, like Chuck D said, the CNN of the culture. It like reflects back what's going on, and nobody's reflecting anything. There's all this stuff going on, all the ICE stuff, Trump, the state of the world. None of these nepo babies have shit to say about that, because they don't give a fuck. They'll be rapping about lakes and whatever the fuck they talk about for the rest of their lives. They have nothing to say. I think for me personally, that's what people mean when they say rap fatigue. It's like, damn, rap used to care. We just don't even care anymore. It's just like, whatever. All I know is that it doesn't need whatever's.
You know what I'm saying? Rap, that last line, I 100% feel every day. Rap used to care. So when I listen to stuff that sounds like people don't care, it rings loudly in my mind. It's not that I'm necessarily trying to poke holes in stuff. It's like, rap used to care. Rap care. And now it's like, rap products sell SKUs. Rap products sell SKUs. Homeboy Sam is one of the first people I interviewed ever who was widely and loudly critical of that at a time when I don't think a lot of people were, at least in terms of me. And this is me, independent journalist, going outside in Brooklyn, don't have that many relationships, so I'm not having that many conversations with a lot of people. But, you know, in conversation with Homeboy Sandman, he would say, yo, hip-hop, all rap is right now is just like commercials. All they're telling me is what clothes they're wearing, what watches they're buying, or what cars they're driving, or whatever. And, you know, it was true then, and it's true now with what. Only thing that's evolved is, like, instead of getting new people, we just get nepo babies that JPEGMafia is talking about.
Well, I think it started happening when people start battling in rap, and it became a situation where I make more money than you. That became a sticking point in the battle. You know, that's what made Kendrick Lamar so difficult for Drake, because he could lean on the fact that my plane fly over your bus thing, that you can, you know, oh, I make more money than you, so that essentially means I'm better. But Kendrick is generating income, so that's why Drake couldn't lean on that. So I think for years the money thing came into play, and now it's just business. It's not about passion. It's not about, like, people just trying to make some money.
Right.
That's just what it is. It's a hustle. And so, like he said, these you got people rapping about what to put them on the fast track to get to the money.
Right.
That's what it is.
Yeah. Word up. Big shout out to Chad Nose. David Jones 1212 stat: if they're not all in their peak, who's fallen the most? I have a hard time picturing you live react to GNX the way you did Iceman. Get out of there. Justin, get out of there. Well, it's a shorter album. I think that's a part of it. It's a shorter album.
23 songs at 1 a.m. Come on, y'all. Cut me some slack. It was late. I'm ready to go to bed.
Yo, but I think what's really interesting is that your opinion is basically held for the most part. You picked up a couple of songs that maybe don't sound as bad to you now as they did then, but like you're still basically in the same spot. One song that you added to your Pool Drake playlist.
Listen, I have some elite music that people have sent me on my phone, and they ask me their expert opinions. People that you would not even think that would ask someone about their music. And I have told them that it's not good. I am the dark cloud, essentially. I'm the guy that comes in a lot of sessions and tell people that their baby is not cute, pretty much. That's me. So when it comes down to music, I have a different level of expectation. That's another reason why, even when people are like, man, why you act like that from some of your old stuff? People tell me certain things are great. To me, it's not, because I have a different expectation of what I think it should be based on my experience in this. So when I hear a song, y'all like, nah, that's great. I'm listening to something totally different than what you're listening to. First of all, I'm listening. First things first. How is the mix? Is the snare too loud? Is the hi-hat hitting right? Is the syncopation right? Okay, boom. Okay, where's the level? Is his ad-libs too loud? Where vocally, did they slide him correctly? Is he on the perfect timing of the beat? You know what I mean? I'm hearing things. Oh, yo, it's too much reverb right now. It's too much. Oh, no, turn that down. I'm listening to things that a lot of people don't listen to. This is the problem for me. That's why it's harder for me, because I live behind the curtains. So I can't just hear a song and love the song because it just sounds good to me. I hear everything about it. And if it don't sound right, I can't mess with it. I'm cursed from working with Andre Young. He has cursed me because I can hear the imperfections. Do you know this? Dre told me this. He doesn't like to go out places because when he goes places, they play his music and it bothers him because he want to go back in and change something. These are classics they're playing. They're not playing like some of my old stuff. They're playing classic music, and this guy want to go back in and change it. Do you understand that, y'all? Do you understand how crazy that is? This is nothing but a G thing. This is uh next episode. These are them type of records. He can hear the imperfections in those songs. So when I listen to Drake's album, I'm listening from that perspective. And to me, there's some songs where he did a really good job on the verses, but the hook is out of key. Or he did a really good job on the hook, but then the verses don't stand up. You know what I'm saying? It's just, or he did a really good job on the lead in, and then that didn't stand up. So with Kendrick, it's the same thing. It's like when I listen to these songs and I know how intricate he can be, certain things I didn't gel with. But guess what? In both of these situations, and even J. Cole's situation, it's good business. Really good business, really good execution in business for all three of these projects. Maybe J. Cole fell off not as good as the other two because he didn't put music on there that we were gonna gravitate to like Kendrick and Drake did. You know, Drake is still soon. It's too soon to tell, but we know Kendrick had Luther, which played a lot longer than the album, which kept GNX around longer than it would be. As I said last night, the more popular songs keep the relevance of the album longer. That's why Kendrick was able to wait so long to do Mr. Morale because Damn had those records that radio was still more of a thing and it carried it. You know what I mean? Radio now is not as big, so it's different when you're talking about trying to carry an album. That's why you see these people drop their music, and the next week you don't even talk about it no more unless they got a song that's popping. But look at all the albums that come out, and then y'all don't even have nothing to say about it no more. Isaiah Rashad came out last week. You know what I mean? Now over here over in this platform and Culture United and places like that, yeah, some people are talking about it, but for the most part, it's gone. You know what I mean? Whereas it used to be a time where people would put out a record and the momentum of that album would actually build over time because the songs become more popular. Now, the height of an album is the first week it drops. And it's been like that for a significant period of time. So, like, I mean, you just see the ever changing of the industry and what's happening by how these releases come out. So, you know, I would definitely go through Kendrick's album the same way. Like Justin said, it would be a little different because it was a shorter album. But at the same time, I would not. I would tell him, you know, as I would tell anyone if they trust me enough, especially if they ask me to come over and listen to it, I'm gonna give my real opinion because I think that's love. There's nothing more. Um, it's a trust when someone plays you their music, and I've been blessed for people to play me their music before it gets to the public, and I've been trusted to do that. Justin's back. You know what I'm saying? So
Hey, the numbers went up. You held it down.
you know, I'm talking I'm just doing what I do. You know what I'm saying?
We got to get these drops for the show. That's going to be one of the things I focus on this week.
What's that? What do you mean?
So the audience suggested that we make, like, I have 1 second applause. The audience suggested that we make, hey, yo, Justin, get out of there. Get out of there.
Okay.
As
Get
one
out
of
of
them. There was 2 other ones.
Oh yeah, the
So-
party. Want to see party?
Party.
You gotta do that.
Right. So
Legendary.
we get those.
Super chat.
K-Way for real says, Stat is absolutely correct. Childish Gambino smells like a tub of dolphin piss somebody farted in. Ouch. Jesus, crazy visual. I know from a personal interaction, unfortunately, walking around here smelling like koala diapers. And I've seen koalas wear diapers before. I know that gotta be funky.
The fact that he knows it and doesn't do anything about it, that's why it's foul. He sat up there in that interview talking about it, like, and Charlamagne's like, yo, bro, like, what? He's like, yeah, I'm a hippie. Just like, that's what you imposing that on us? We got to deal with that? Come do us like that. Hey, you out in the world?
Right.
Come on, baby, make it uncomfortable. You don't have to, like, don't do that to us. Why are you putting us in that position? We love you. We want you at the BET Awards. We don't want you smelling like that. Come on, Mr. Glover. When I love Atlanta, I love that show.
Shout out to K-Way. This one's from Tim641. Justin, I DM'd you about the Opus Clipper job. Let me know. Was that Twitter, Instagram? Let me know which one it was. But I appreciate it. I definitely need that so bad.
Oh yeah, you tripping.
I need for real. Like it's a lot. You know what I'm saying? But pain to progress. That's what it goes. That's what it costs. That's what it is ultimately. That's what progress costs. Alex Davis 1221. Can we get Mac Wop on CU? I'd love to. Yeah, he's actually on my list of people to reach out to. I like what they're doing a whole lot over there.
I love Wop. His loyalty. I love his loyalty to Dot.
Right.
I love it. Shout out to Wop.
Jermaine L. Johnson says, give you another $5 just to say, pack hard hitter. He said he dropped this same one last night.
What did you say? Pack what?
Pack hard hitter the fuck up. That's what he said. Tomato. Hard, that's my brother, man. You know what I'm saying? Like he's, again, like this, there is polarizing, This was a very polarizing battle. And I think it fits within this era really well, but I don't know if we've seen it in rap with male rappers. This is like this before. I don't know if we've seen it the same way.
Can you be friends with somebody? Let's say, could you be friends with a white supremacist?
I don't think it's possible. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
think that'd be possible. Like, not even just whether I could be. I don't know why a white supremacist would want to be. If a white supremacist wants to be my friend, it's not what I would consider friendship.
Yeah, I couldn't be friends with no white supremacist. I was just asking because they said
we're probably friends with white supremacists and we don't know it.
Oh, we definitely are.
You know what I'm saying?
We definitely.
But if I know somebody, it's like, what am I gonna do? Go to your birthday party for what? Like,
yeah. I couldn't openly be cool with somebody that I know hates my existence because of my color.
Right, and wants to legislate that way. That is the difference.
Yeah, I couldn't.
Like, you can feel how you want to feel about me, but don't use your influence to legislate against me.
But it's the theory that I always say. We keep. I don't gonna do it. I say it.
You said what? What do you say?
No, I was gonna say that the theory is the dog don't want to. The dog don't want to walk. Don't want to be walked. The dog want to walk the owner. So it's like that mentality is to keep the dog to be walked. We're the dogs, and they want to keep walking us. They don't want us to walk them. That's that mentality. That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? It's the only way the whole system works. Exactly.
The entire system is held up by stolen resources from the global south. It only works if psychologically people think people from the global south or who represent the global south are subhuman. It's the only way it works. You crack that myth. Deep. You crack that myth. Deep. The whole structure falls. You know who, 97? To be honest, the frustration with Hitta, at least for me, was his inability to explain his thinking in consistent and rational manner, and that's something many Drake fans seem to struggle with.
I'm going to say this. Hitta's situation, just so y'all know, he has a personal relationship with Aubrey Graham. Okay, he lives in Houston. Aubrey is a resident of Houston. So he's not objective. This is his friend. Just like Game. Game's not objective. Game is Drake's friend. There's no objectivity when it comes to friendship. I'm not objective when it comes to Dr. Dre, only personally. When I'm talking to him personally, I'm very objective. In the public, I have no objectivity when it comes to Dr. Dre. I have no objectivity when it comes to Top Dog. In the public, personally, yes, we can have our go back and forth, but there's no objectivity. So if there's a conversation, even if my people in the wrong, I'm gonna sit there and keep my mouth closed. Whack 100. I don't agree with maybe 99% of the things that he does in the public. I'm just saying it. But I'm gonna talk to him personally about that. You'll never hear me going crazy talking about he's helped me too much in my life. He's helped me. So I can't do it. I can't do it. So Hitta's in a situation where Drake has clearly helped him. Did you see what happened when he brought up the 100 million streams and they took it away? And I said, Hitta, you think Drake ain't got 200 million streams that they need to take away? He's like, we ain't gonna talk about that. That's what he said. We ain't gonna talk about that. Come on, baby. Come on, man.
That's
we ain't gonna talk about that, man.
I mean, that's, yeah, well, that's how it goes sometimes. Thank you for the super chat, you know who. We got Kidster91 says, big fan of the show, off topic. Just the other day, I popped in the third Beef DVD. Lo and behold, stat pops up for 10 seconds. What's y'all opinion on the importance of the Beef DVD series? Great question. This should be clipped. Somebody should clip this whole part right here. I love this, because especially this series. You go ahead and go. You were in it.
I don't remember. I remember doing that interview outside the Sheraton Hotel. And I was staying at the Sheraton Hotel. Aftermath had paid for me to be there. And I forgot what beef I was talking about. It's so long ago. Which beef it was.
Was it with T.I. Lil Flip? No, it wasn't that one. Which one was in the third one?
It was a bunch of them, but they was asking me about beef, and I probably was saying something ridiculous. I was in rapper mode, trying to sound tough. You know what I'm saying? Trying to be harder than I really was in life. So that's probably what was going on. But yeah, that was I would like to see that. So we should definitely see, because I don't.
They're all on YouTube.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch that when we get off stream, because I don't even remember it. It's a lot of things about my life, Justin, that I forgot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I remember Steven Jackson. Somebody asked me, I'm like, dang, I remember going to Steven Jackson's house and laying a verse on a song, because I seen that he was rapping. I think his cousins was rapping. I went and did a verse at his house. I told people about the Kenyon Martin story. It's a bunch of stuff that happened in my life. I need to just remember so we can bring these back to life on the show. But yeah, that beef DVD was a thing. I do remember filming it at the Sheraton Hotel up at Universal City Walk. They came over there and they was asking me questions about somebody's beef. It might have been 50 or something. It might have been some of that.
Or was it Eminem Royce?
I don't think it was that.
I think that QD3's Beef DVD series is the most important video series in hip-hop YouTube, period. And the reason I say that is because everybody out here doing breakdowns of rap beefs, everybody out here who's trying to detail and chronicle what's happening with conflict between these artists is chasing QD3. And nobody's doing it to his level. Because what QD3 did, that the reason I say all of us are chasing in one way or the other, have chased in one way or the other, QD3 had both sides of these arguments in these videos exclusively. And it wasn't just one. It was like, okay, this one we're going to talk about Lil Flip and T.I. This next segment we're going to talk about 50 Cent and Ja Rule. This next segment and then he has both of them. To have the respect and the cultural cachet to be able to go into a lot of gun blazing situations with these conflicts and get them to document it and put it out. It was pioneering at the time, and it's for that to be one of the most popular, most watched verticals on a whole platform that didn't even exist when he made this is to me a testament to his foresight in terms of just creating it in the first place. I know he didn't create it for YouTube. I'm not saying foresight in terms of that, but how big and influential, how powerful that series could be ultimately. And I just think that he's done it the best. You know, like it's not easy to catch people willing to go on record about their ops and then allow it to come out. I don't know what the circumstances would have to look like to get the range of artists. It wasn't just like, okay, I got this great video and I interviewed 6ix9ine, I interviewed Lil Durk, and I was able to put it out. You know, he had every video had a bunch of different things that were going down, and he was able to cover stuff that was happening in the South, that was happening in the Midwest, stuff that was happening in New York, stuff that was happening on the West Coast. So it's a fantastic series. I think it's one of the most important hip hop video documentary series ever.
Shout out to QD3. I also want to shout out Raekwon's putting out his documentary, The Purple Tape. You made me remember that. He want to come on the show too, Justin.
Raekwon?
Yeah.
Yo, Raekwon. There's an article on my old YouTube channel, The Quotable, my original one. Raekwon, this is back when I was doing guerrilla journalism, and one of my favorite days ever to this day in hip hop history is the day that the Purple Tape 2 came out and Blueprint 3. They came out the same day, and for like a day or two, Purple Tape was actually outselling Blueprint 3. Like, just for like a day, you know what I mean?
Wow.
That was like a huge thing. And he had a show at SOBs that night, and I was like, okay, I'm talking about, this is like Company Man year one, you know what I mean? And I had a show at SOBs. I went out there, and I was like, I'm gonna get this Raekwon, and nothing's gonna stop me from talking to Raekwon, so I can have a quote from Raekwon to go with whatever I'm gonna say. I wrote an article called A Tale of Two CDs. It was a series that I planned to start, A Tale of Two CDs, right? And it was talking about Blueprint 3 and the Purple Tape. And it's actually a pretty good article, it's still up there now. But I lingered outside of SOBs after his show for probably a solid 2.5 hours, maybe. I was just lingering where I knew where they parked the van. Walked up to him with my little audio recorder. And I'm like, hey, Justin Hunt, thequotable.com, you got time for a couple of questions? He was like, questions for this? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, okay. And so I got a 5-question interview with Raekwon, and it was one of my biggest early successes ever.
Oh wait, we got to have him on. Shout out to Loyal. Loyal had brought him by the studio one night. Him and Game was working on the song, and then they filmed me for the documentary. I think I started crying in the documentary. I was just talking about how much that song Cream meant to me and Dre. That was our joint, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, and so I think I got emotional just even talking about it. So I think the documentary coming out, I just remember that when you was talking about documentaries.
Yeah.
I done a couple of these joints, but y'all be on the lookout for that. The Purple Tape documentary by Raekwon. Shout out to Loyal. Loyal's our camera guy who films the third verse on the in studio show we do on Tuesdays. So.
The third verse.
Shout out to that.
Shout out to Loyal.
Make sure y'all subscribe while y'all up there too. Subscribe to the channel. We appreciate y'all love.
We got Andy Pandy Pie says stats advocating against raising minimum wage to a living wage. Do you stand for anything pro-social? It feels like your purpose is against this.
No, I'm not advocating against the wages going up. I'm just saying that when they go up, people won't have to make more money, which is, I'm advocating for things to be cheaper. I would like things to be cheaper and people make more money. I would love for people to have more disposable income. So however we can get to that, I don't know the ins and outs. But I wish people made $1 million, but their rent was $5. I don't know how we get there. I don't know, Andy. I'm not into politics.
I've got plenty of ideas.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You and Justin can talk about it. All I want is people to make more money. Whenever I go into a store and I'm complaining about somebody, what it costs, I always say to the person, I wish if I knew you were getting this money directly, I wouldn't have a problem with paying so much more for it. If I went in a grocery store and I knew these bag of grapes that I'm paying $14 for, that should actually be $2, and if I knew the extra $12 was going into the employee's hands that I saw, I would feel a lot better about it. But I know that's not the case. These people are still underpaid. So I know there's somebody that's the head of this whole thing sitting there like the big white character in the cartoon counting the money with a cigar in his mouth.
The little Monopoly
exactly.
logo.
The
monocle.
Exactly. No, I know it's somebody over there looking like Pluto and Popeye trying to come save the day. So that's where I'm at. I want people to make more money. That's all I want. I want everybody to have more money, including me.
Right.
And I want more money too. Justin, I want him to have more money.
Right.
And I know DJ want more money. And Andy Pandy, guess what? I want you to have more money as well. And all the people in chat.
So we can all agree on.
Yes.
Terry Horde says, much love from Minneapolis. I appreciate you guys. I'm still listening to Culture United from last night, so I'll catch the reply tomorrow. One question, Justin, the cool or food and liquor?
Ooh. Which one is real long?
The food and liquor.
Oh, food and liquor.
The,
That's one of the greatest songs in hip hop history.
But the cool got the coolest, man.
Hey, dog. There's no song better than Real.
Real's amazing.
The song Real is ridiculous.
Yo,
What? That man said life ain't meant to come around twice. Therefore, I gotta get it right. Keep going, Justin.
They
That's what he
said I got it honest, now I gotta give it life. We'll sleep on it. That's why God give you night. I mean, I had a dream that God gave me flight to fly for my own good, so God gave me plight. Oh, that's so hard. That is crazy.
Get out.
That is nuts.
And this dude talking about I'm supposed to be over here gassed up by the Drake lyrics. No, what are we talking? What are we doing right now?
This
what
is
are
what
we
I
talking
mean.
about?
Like,
what are we talking about? Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah.
The disrespect. Do y'all listen? Let me tell y'all something. I don't think y'all know. Do you know how much I love hip hop music? It's my first love. I love rap. Before I started rapping, I used to sit up and this was when tape was out. I would take a tape. It was this show on 88.5 in Atlanta. I would record the whole show, and I would listen to it. Then when I started rapping, I would record myself rapping into this little whack ass boombox. I'm a fan. I skipped school to buy Nas's Illmatic. I love rap. It make me feel so good. Nothing hurts me more than what's going on right now. I'm crushed. It's like watching your first love just become a fentanyl addict. And you got to sit and watch it. And then you got to sit and talk about it. I am hurt. People be like, yo, you had an artist like this and you promoted this. Yeah. What am I going to do? It's going there anyway. It just gave the people what they wanted. My problem is, why do they want it? I don't understand it. So I just roll with it. And now, man, it's so many good artists. It's so many great people that y'all don't know about. But y'all don't want to hear that. So, I mean, what you want me to do? Y'all probably never heard that song we just spit out right there. And if you haven't, it's called Real, and it's by Lupe Fiasco.
It's amazing.
And do yourself a favor and go listen to it, because it's some of the most in-depth lyrical content that you can consume. And that's the best to me, when it's very simple,
right.
but it's very deep.
Right. It's simple. Lupe mastered simple complexity a very long time ago.
Incredible.
Like, it's not a bunch of crazy words that people don't understand. There's not a bunch of 5-6 syllable words connecting these dots. Like just the depth of something like that. I mean, I had a dream that God gave me flight to fly for my own good, so God gave me plight. That's a weighty bar right there.
He said, sleep on it, so God gave me night.
Right. I don't know, man. Food and liquor cool. It really just depends of the season, to be honest. I'm gonna go with the cool. I'll say that because I think the cool. I don't even know if I mean this. I just went to the Food and Liquor 20-year anniversary show the other week. I'm not even sure. I don't know, man. I don't know. This ain't a cool question at all.
Food and liquor, dog.
I don't know, man. They're so close. And they're connected. Or they have a connective tissue, rather. But like,
has he made a better album than Food and Liquor and the Cool?
Tattoo and Youth. Yeah. I think it's by far his best album. Yeah. It didn't have the commercial impact because of where he was at
I'm gonna listen to that today.
Yeah. I think it is. I think it's his best album. I think he's more naturally emotive on that one too, which is something that, you can debate about Lupe's music, or at least for those first 2 albums in the mixtapes. I wasn't sure how naturally emotive he was. He gets, he shines in that regard on multiple songs on Tattoo and You to me. So I'd put that up there. A lot of people say Drogas Wave. A lot of people would say Drill Music and Zion. So Lupe's had more of an interesting career after he's left the major label system. But once you leave the major label system, you don't get the same exposure in the same way. So things don't travel the same way. But I don't know. I'm gonna do Food and Liquor this week just because it's the 20th anniversary, and I feel like that's the spirit of it. But ask me next week. We'll see what happens because both those albums are very pivotal to me personally. But also when I look at them from an analytical standpoint, not analytical standpoint, but when I'm looking at them as from a critical standpoint, they both do things that are very rare for their era and are still very rare now, and they excel. Their execution is just amazing on all fronts around that. You're talking about two largely narrative-driven, third-person narrative-driven albums. Like he won a Grammy for a song about a project building that turns into a robot. You know what I mean? It's just really dope.
What album was that on?
Food and Liquor. Daydream.
Stop it.
Daydream.
Stop it.
Daydream. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. GD Brown says, and this is exactly why Scarface was talking about on Sellout, verse 1 specifically. I can't remember. I'm not sure. What was this about?
Don't bring Uncle Face in here.
Yeah.
Hey, let people know one of my favorite, probably my favorite rapper of all time. I could say that. There's a song out there called "The Way It Be." Dre did the beat. It's me and Scarface. You can go check it out. It's a great song. I love Face. Uncle Face is my everything in music. So street, but so political. So upfront. It was always what was going on around there, what he saw. I think, like the gentleman said, we don't get enough of that. We need more. We need more geopolitical mainstream rap. We need that. So I mean, I hope some, and it would be nice if it came from a 19 to 20-year-old, a young person.
Yeah.
That would really be dope for us. That they just really talked about what they experienced then, and it would be dope if it was the person was Hispanic, especially with everything that's going on with ICE. That would be crazy. Imagine that, just somebody speaking from that and talking what's happening and being lyrical, but speaking from that perspective and did a whole imagine a song, and I think somebody did it, and they 3 verses, or maybe I said it should be. The first verse is the person that's being shipped back to their country from America. The second verse is the agent that's doing it, but the agent is actually a Spanish person himself. And the third verse is from a person that wants to see it happen to people to be shipped back, but somebody that they love dearly is being shipped back, and now they're sitting with the decision that they made to be going with that. Imagine if those 3 perspectives over a dope ass beat and telling that story as these people. That would be crazy. But you made it palatable to where the world can rock with it.
It sounds like a Lupe song. It sounds like something exactly Lupe. Literally Lupe has a song called "Prisoner 1 and 2" on Texas Youth. It is the prisoner perspective and then the CEO perspective, and then he has another one on. I want to say. I can't think of it right now, but I know he touched on topics that are very around that. I would love to see someone do that from this perspective that can connect with it directly. You know what I'm saying? That'd just be really dope. Shout out to Shadno. Shadno says idea on the Radar collab. I'd love that. Excuse me. Love to have it too, man. We should talk to Gabe and those guys and see if they want to collab on something. Can't wait for real, by the way. F. Jerry Jones, there's literal video and picture of him yelling slurs and preventing black students from attending North Little Rock High School. My pops was a student in the first integrated kindergarten classroom. Man, this is true.
Well, we love our oppressor. A lot of us. We love Massa. You know how that goes. They got us confused. They put a star on the helmet. They got them running fast. Pay a couple of us, give a couple of us some money, Go ahead and run that ball, boy. Run that ball. Run that ball for Massa. Woohoo! Yes, sir, Massa. So I run that ball for Massa. I does it for Massa. Yes, Massa. Tell him run that ball. Who will run that ball? Yes, I own. Ooh, I gotta do it for my owner. There's a Massa let us sleep in the house and eat their food. Food good for Massa. Massa lets us eat from their plate. You don't talk about Massa, that Jerry Jones. We love Massa. We love our cowboy. Ooh, Massa make us look good, give us all the money. Don't you talk about Massa? We love our Massa. Ooh. Hey, listen, man. Don't tell me about no white folks. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, don't let me. I'm trying to stay out. I'm trying to stay away from things like this. You guys have to stop. Y'all gonna really figure out who I am. I am the spook that sat by the stairs. I'm excuse me, by the elevator. It's me. I'm him. Okay, I'm him. Yes.
Shout out to K-Way for real. One more again. He says, shout out to Jergens and Cinemax after 10 p.m. He knows the formula. He knows the recipe. Yeah.
Jergens who?
Jergens and Cinemax after 10 p.m.
Oh, okay. I just got what's going on. Like Cinemax. Hey yo, let me tell you. Hey yo, no listen.
Cinemax. Hey yo, listen.
No listen. No, I used to play basketball at the LA Fitness in Studio City. One of the weirdest experiences of my life. I'm sitting there, I'm hooping, and a dude that I used to always hoop with, he's just a cool dude. You know, you go to basketball court, you see dudes or whatever. Dog, one night, bro, I'm staying at the Oakwoods over there. I turn it on, it's him, bro. He in one of the Skinemax flicks, dog. Probably one of the most awkward moments in my life, because I was actually I was searching for that at the time. You know what I mean? I turned with the intention to go on Skinemax. I see this dude pop up, man. Next day I go to the gym, I see him. I'm like, bro, you on your Skinemax? He's like, yeah, Papa, I gotta get the bills paid, Papa. He was a Spanish dude. I'm like, dog, you ruined. I ain't watched Cinemax since, dog. I don't want to know. I don't want to know the dudes that's with the young ladies in the. I don't want to know, dog. That ruined pornographic stuff for me. Because I'm like, I don't want to. You don't want to meet these people in real life. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, I was over with.
It was an adjustment for me when I moved out here. I mean, it happened before I moved out here, but I have a really close friend. He's an MC. Came up in our scene, who became an adult film star, and so he was Hassan Salam, and then now he's King Noir, and so. But I remember the first time I was just like, doing my normal research and ran across one of his pieces of art, and it was like it's a recalibration thing, you know what I mean? And then since I've lived here, I actually have a few friends who work in that space. And so it was an adjustment though, because when you grow up and you're watching it feels very far away. You don't think about this as necessarily real people. But now all of it is OnlyFans, so everybody's a real person now, Everybody doing this at the crib.
Anybody that's in LA, y'all know y'all randomly just see Brian Pumper just at the mall.
All over the place. Oh.
Just at the mall recruiting. Terrible.
He came we had a Hip Hop DX party one year. He came to that. That's the first time hey, what's up, man?
No,
you got the same hat. That's what's up.
No, I'll never forget this. He came to my video shoot. He had the G Unit tank top on. I'm like, dog, who invited you over here? I don't even know you, bro. It was crazy.
It's crazy.
It was crazy. I just seen him in Target like a couple months ago.
Shy Nose once again says, thank you very much, Shy Nose. She says, it's unfortunate that Drake is embedded in the algorithm via streamers, Complex, Kirko, Spotify, chatbots, etc. I want authentic rap discourse back.
Well, I think it just goes back to the what pays the bills, and it's a lot of people. If everybody was if more people was like Shy Nose, I think we would Culture United be the biggest show on television and on the internet, and Third Verse would be right there with it. But unfortunately, you could see the media. I mean, academics, whether we like them or not, is the biggest hip hop voice, right? That's why the labels pay him so much money to promote the music that's up there. So that's indicative of the type of music that a lot of people want. You know what I mean? Like, unfortunately, it's just what it is. Not, I mean, unfortunately for us, that's fans of other things. I don't have a problem with what academic does. I definitely think it's necessary, just as I think that we're necessary. I just don't feel like the balance that it needs to balance better. It needs more balance because right now it's just skewed. It's like this. You know what I'm saying? It's like this. Kendrick represented balance and pushed it up, but it's still here. You get what I mean? And the reason you know it's here is because Drake can put out a project that this subpar and not suffer any consequences for it. His fans were supposed to make him suffer. They were supposed to hear this one time and be like, "Yo, this is not as good as what we're used to from him." But they didn't do that. They are praising it because they want to win an argument. You get what I'm saying? But they know deep down in their souls that this is not the best Drake. For sure. It's where we are.
Word up. OC RTR says, "Stop apologize, stat. That's you, and I like it real."
Well, I appreciate you. I'm gonna stop apologizing. I'm just myself. I want to bring Justin. Justin has helped me. I just want y'all to know because I was definitely a little bit more. I was a lot more candid than I am now. But Justin has helped me understand because he's worked in this space that you can be yourself, but you also have to understand that some of the things that you talk about, people are passionate about, and it rubs them the wrong way. So when you elicit a negative response, it kind of comes with the territory. Um, so I'm being more understanding of that. And like I told everybody here, I'm trying to grow and become a better person as a man. Like, you know, that's what this is all about. I'm not stuck in my ways. I can be convinced of anything, except certain things. But generally I can be convinced if it makes sense to me. You know what I mean? So I'm just trying to be better. I appreciate y'all to rocking with me on this journey. And you know, whether you agree with me or disagree with me, let's grow together. Because everybody that's in this chat that's rocking with us at this stage, you know, the difference between a lot of these shows you see, we're gonna get y'all emails. Y'all gonna be invited to come somewhere, food. We're gonna party, have a good time. Y'all can talk to me. All of y'all, even the people that hate my guts, we're gonna invite you too. Because some of the people that work at the third verse don't want y'all to come nowhere, but I'm still gonna invite y'all out because I want that. I'm okay with some people not liking me. I'm fine with that. I'm okay with people not agreeing with me. I have no problem with that. But the only issue I have is let's agree. Let's do it respectfully. So calling me a clown and all that, like, we're not going to say. We're not doing that. If you can say I don't agree with that, I don't like that, you wrong, you da. That's fine. We can have a real conversation. But all that being disrespectful, I will address you every time you do that because I don't know you or you don't know me to be disrespectful. You know, you don't know what I've been through to get here. You know what I'm saying? I am from the bottom of it. Justin, do you hear me? I'm from the bottom of it. I told DJ this to his face. When you make $1 million, that's the equivalent of me making $1 billion. So the fact that I made $1 million doing this and being in this business, that's like me being damn near a trillionaire. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't even supposed to be here. My mama wasn't even supposed to be able to have no kids. My mom had a hysterectomy after me. I was lucky to even be on the earth. And that means my children wouldn't have been alive. That means me and Justin wouldn't have done this podcast. That means there's a bunch of stuff that wouldn't have happened. I am lucky.
No Lil Xan.
That too. And yo, people want to hold that over my head. I have no problem. You can hold that over my head. I took a kid from Redlands that had no future or nothing and took him all over the world and made him somebody that people know. He will go down in infamy. What do you want me to tell you? What do you want me to tell you? So you think this ain't gonna work? You think me, Justin, and DJ sitting around talking is not gonna work? When I made y'all know who Lil Xan is. You think this not gonna blow up? Y'all better watch me. Watch me work, man.
I love that. All right, 1 second pause. I'm doing it. I did that one with intention. That was great. Let's see. Dre7580 says, "Didn't Kendrick do a song called Chains and Whips?" I can't remember what this is related to.
I think it was because we talked about I didn't like to see the chain and the MAGA chain. I don't like the chain MAGA. We talked
Okay.
about
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. Well, yes, he did, and the imagery was not Michael Jackson's glove holding a MAGA chain. Teresa, shout out to Teresa. She says, I welcome different opinions. It's just you got to base it on facts. Example, I'm not debating a flat earther. And that is, I think, a really rational place to live. You know, it's like, because I honestly think that's how we got here. Like the Confederates did a great job of like spinning conversation. Let's take it away from the politics, right? Or not politics, but let's take it away from, party affiliation. The Manosphere also did a great job of this as well, right? And Candace Owens does this every week. I'm just asking questions. Or, hey, in the marketplace of ideas, and those type of things were critical in shattering decorum, shattering the idea of what respect is, and reframing what freedom of speech is. And it taught a generation, that and gaming, online gaming, taught a generation to just like look at everything very flatly and to ignore some very obvious things, right? And now flat earther is one of those things that popped up in that era. The number of the millions of people who saw this online conspiracy conversation and believed the earth was flat because of that, ignoring centuries of mathematics and science. Like, just think about that. Literally mathematics. Because, yeah, some cool YouTube video said the earth's probably flat. It was a convincing argument. Birds or drones? The birds or drones one was nuts.
But Justin, it just shows you the distrust that we have with anything that we're told.
No, I'm not saying I don't understand it. I'm saying what I am saying is that's how we got here, right?
Okay.
These are a series of things that have now allowed us into a place where, Voting Rights Act is gutted, people are getting abducted, gas prices is $8 a gallon, whatever it is. It leads you to that direction because not necessarily the individual things, but the way that fascists creep into conversation, right? That, just asking questions, is the marketplace, all that stuff, it gets you here, right? And I really like, my point about saying all this is, I really appreciate people who are pushing back on that now. Like, I love the fact that people are like, there used to be that conversation that was saying, well, it's just a difference of opinion when it comes to just certain political conversations. It's just a difference of opinion, right? Well, if you think that I'm subhuman, that's not a difference of opinion. That's something that's totally different. Something totally different, right? So trying to debate someone who is debating in bad faith or have a conversation with someone who thinks that you and your kind should be deported and put on concentration camps, that's not a good faith argument or conversation to have. And so I like the idea of people pushing back against these things, like Teresa's saying right here. Open to difference of opinion, that's cool. Got to be based on facts. I'm not debating a flat earther. Yeah, me neither.
I can respect that. I can respect that because at a certain point, it's like, what are we doing here?
Right.
I'm not even talking to you.
Right. Right. You start elevating every idea, and all of a sudden, the floor is lowered.
And then they'll take something you say and add it to their argument to make their thing seem legit of why they feel the way they feel based on something that you told them. They'll twist it around.
Right.
So when they go argue with somebody else, they'll be like, they may can convince somebody otherwise based on something you told them to be a contrarian to what they were saying. So you definitely got to be careful who you're talking to.
Right. Thank you for that, Teresa. Brown Girl L, 2:45 a.m. with the Culture United crew. Crazy work. Shout out to LBK. Stat needs to be put in timeout.
What I do?
I'm not sure what you did today or what you did yesterday. But
well, I did something.
You did something.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You know you did something.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And for whatever I did, I'm wrong. I'm wrong. I did it. I damn sure did it too.
That's funny. Thank you for that, Brown Girl L. This right here is from Terry Hordes. The Cool was the first hip hop album I listened to on my own front to back. I was 16 at the time when I got an iPod and using LimeWire.
Great album.
Fantastic album, man. My man said, she says, and if the rain stops and everything's dry, she will dry. If the rain stops and everything's dry, she will cry just so I can drink the tears from her eyes.
You know what? We're going to have Lupe on, man.
Yeah. Nothing.
Yeah. I'm gonna make that happen. I'm gonna go about it differently than you would.
Okay.
Lupe.
That'd be dope. That'd be a great conversation. You know what I really liked? I liked the conversation we had the other week on Culture United with Mickey Fax and Simba and you, and we were talking about lyricism. Like that was actually a really revealing conversation to me in terms of like, you know, the difference between good lyricism and great lyricism and the struggles that a lyricist can have between doing all the dynamic things they want to do on a record, but also making music that's palatable to the masses, you know.
I would love to hear his take on that.
Yeah, that's true. Blue Slides 24 says, you can see the vices with how Drake is aging. There's a line on that album, he says, my face looks good, look younger every day or something like that. And I was like, really? You know, I was like, eh.
Well, no, they say you gotta speak it so you feel good about it.
That's true. Thoughts are physical. You're right. Thoughts are physical.
Let him speak. Let him speak it out. So he just saying it. You know what I mean? He just saying what he want to say.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I noticed? Him and Game look alike. Was it the braid? I'm just saying, is it the braid? They look. They just been hanging around each other a lot. I was gonna call Chuck and be like, hey, my nigga, is this nigga turning into you, y'all? Like y'all look alike. That's what first thing I noticed in the camera. I'm like, this nigga look like Chuck. They look alike.
You know, one of the things. Did you ever seen Adrian Broner? You seen what Adrian Broner's been doing?
Oh man, I hurt for him.
It looks really bad, man.
Yeah,
Adrian Broner's been on a reality show. I'm not sure what the.
It's not it's a kick. It's not a reality show. They're just clips of him and this other dude, Dean the Great.
Okay. Yeah.
And they're just walking around doing their thing, and he's such a talented guy with boxing, and I'm glad you brought that up. But he said something that was very important that I don't think people paid attention to. He said that everybody that does what he does, right, have these type of vices, because he was talking about his alcohol problem, right? But you guys just don't see it. You only see them when they're training. And I remember I was on a flight with a lady who owned rehab centers. And she told me that the majority of everyone in the rehab had experienced head trauma of some kind. You know, like a crazy accident, playing a football or box, you know, something with their head. There's something that goes with that. Him being a boxer and experiencing these head traumas is why his alcoholism has gotten to that point. So I feel definitely bad for him. It's like we're watching him crash in real life, and people are being entertained by it. You gonna pull that up?
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna let it run in the background while you're talking, so people get an idea of what we're saying.
Yeah, let's see it. I want people to see it. It's sad, man.
Okay, it's on screen. It is not on the screen, so take a look. Adrian Broner.
Help you, nigga. Stop you, bro.
Hey, cuz, you trying to get drunk like a white?
Yeah, you want to drink? Going crazy. Yeah.
Chill on the drink. Let's go, bro. Let's go. You get too drunk. Let's go, nigga. Let's go. Let's go. Bro, stop. Come on, bro. Pick it out. No, he good. Stop, yo. Somebody show you. Gang, let's go, bro. Gang, come on. Let's go. Oh, man. Let's go, bro. Come on. Come here. Cut. Don't do that, girl. Gang.
You really want to do that?
I'm helping you, nigga.
Stop. You want to do that, little bro? Huh?
Yo, bro.
Nah, I ain't playing, bro.
Let's go,
You
gang.
really want to do that, little bro?
Gang, come on. Hey, no, hey, chill out. Hey, get her up out of here, cuz. She's processing. She's processing. No, she's processing. She gotta go. We good. It's brother shit, we good.
Man, I seen that, dog. Breaks my heart, man. Breaks my heart. And he got one of the greatest personality. He got a really fantastic personality. He don't even got to be like that to be entertaining, but he clearly got some demons and some stuff he battling with, man. And you know, at least he getting paid. Not at least, but it's just it saddens me. But it lets you know the public will sit and watch that. That's how we entertain, dog. We sick as a society, and I'm talking about all of us, cause I sit and watch it too. I'm no better than everybody else. I'll be looking at the clips too. I ain't watching any live stream. But every time the clip come up and he wilding out, I'm like, what they doing? He drinking some more? He getting drunk, huh? It's like, man, what's wrong with us, bruh? What's wrong? We sick. We sick, Justin. Why we like that?
By choice.
Damn.
It's profitable.
Damn. Cause I watch it, bro. Every clip that come up and he wilding, I'm sitting there watching that. I'm not stupid. I went to college. I'm educated, but I'm still entertained by the buffoonery, man. Yeah. And as a black person, right, I know what it makes us look like as a whole. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Because some people can't separate us still. So they'll try to group us with that behavior. And I also know that what he's experiencing in boxing, and he also lost his trainer. The man is hurting on the inside. He's suffering, Justin. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
But yet still, I'm watching this man suffer and be entertained by it and actually laughing at some of the stuff. I'm sick. I'm just as sick as he is, bro. I ain't no better than him. Damn. Man, I didn't know you was gonna do me like that. That upset me that you hit me right now. Oh, yeah. Man, that hit me. I'm sick, man. That's crazy. Yeah. Damn.
Send positive vibes to Adrian Broner and anybody in your life you know is struggling with challenges of all types.
Yeah, check on your peoples, man. Like, check on your peoples. Like, don't just leave. Life is hard out here. It's hard. That shit ain't easy.
Especially if you make the wrong decisions.
Man, for sure, man. Damn.
Shout out to Squids Against Chicken, says, have y'all watched the music videos from Vince Staples' Blackberry Marmalade and White Flag? I think it'll be a great protest album since Iraq. I haven't seen White Flag yet. I have seen Blackberry Marmalade. Have you seen that?
I watched I didn't see Blackberry Marmalade, but I watched White Flag today.
Uh-huh.
There was a time where you would get locked up if you did that to the flag. So shout out. I'm glad that he didn't get in trouble. I'm glad
which flag was this? American flag?
Yeah, the American flag.
When was that time? Then was there a Supreme Court ruling in like the 70s or something?
No, I'm saying back in the days. Back in the days. If a black man was painting the American flag white, they would have strung us up back in the days. You know
right.
that.
Yeah, that's true.
So shout out to him for even expressing himself. I love Vince, man. Vince is one of the smarter, more thoughtful and understanding of what's really going on. I said this a bunch of times when they asked him about the battle with Kendrick and Drake. He said, y'all talking about the wrong thing. They're both on UMG. Let's talk about that. So he's like, that's who won the battle. I was like, oh, yes. He's absolutely correct. They won the battle, guys. That's who won.
Andy Pandy Pie, Statlanta is a good project. Stop always belittling your music. We don't care about sales over here more than quality of the project. Look at that.
Well, this is what.
Oh, this is very nice. This is a very nice post right here.
Who wrote this?
Andy Pandy Pie.
Oh, shout out to you, Andy Pandy.
Yeah.
Well, this is what it is. It didn't come out in its original form, so that's why that's why I feel the way I feel. Shout out to Shy Money for giving me that opportunity to put it out the way we did, but it had so much other songs, and you know what I mean. It was produced by Dr. Dre and Eminem. Like it wasn't like they did. I think the only other song was done by 3-6 Mafia. They produced Juicy J and DJ Paul produced another song that me and Buck had, but the whole project was done by them. So it was very special. I think Knots had a joint too, but yeah, so it was very special. So that's why I actually got to hear the original. So that's why I kind of feel how I feel about it. But I appreciate that. That's the nicest thing you ever said to me. Shout out to you. And as I told you, I'm so appreciative of you. You will be invited to whatever we have because you're not supposed to agree with everything I say because Justin definitely don't agree with everything I say. I just want us to be able to respect each other. And when you say something, I take it into account and I try to do better. You know what I mean? When I say I'm gonna bring it up. We talked about somebody said I was a colorist. I'm not a colorist, but somebody said that because of how I said what I said. I'm not a colorist. I love my people and I love Black women as how they are. But sometimes when you say something, people just automatically take it how they take it because they don't know you. You know what I mean? Oh, because you saying that about Kelly Rowland. I wasn't saying that because of her color. I was just saying because of the makeup and nobody is who they are. Just like me with this beard and hat. If I cut this beard and take off these glasses and hat, I look like a totally different person. So that's why I was saying that. But yeah, because of people like you and your comments, just know it helps me to convey my messages better so that they're not taken the wrong way. So shout out to you.
Word up. It's all happening. Next one is Dre7580. Jay-Z started the lifestyle rap that we killed Drake for, and we never placed blame properly. Jay spent his career telling us he's a hustler. The cancer spreads. Jay's from a different era, though, at the same time, and I think that is also part of this conversation. Jay has done just certain types of stuff that Drake really hasn't done. There is the Hell Yeah remixes out there. You know what I mean? Yes, there is more third-person storytelling happening on Jay-Z songs. Yes, there's, a range of different things. But don't get me wrong. No one is saying Drake is the first person to do this either. I don't think anybody's criticism of Drake is that he's the first person to do certain things. He might be the first person to be at this level and not have a care and opinion on things that directly impact the people from where this music came from in the first place, like the culture surrounding that. He might be the first one to get to that level and not address it or talk about it in almost any capacity at all. I think that's a huge outlier. And I can't say the same thing about Jay-Z. But I'm not saying, and I don't think anybody's saying that, Drake created all the ills that are happening in music right now.
Jay-Z is one of my favorite albums. I can't lie. I aspired to be a drug dealer listening to him. It's like I wanted to be a drug dealer listening to them raps. My problem with him as an adult man, through all the success, is he came out in that interview and said he's never taken advantage of anybody. And to be that unaware of yourself, it made me lose a little bit of respect for him. And then some other conversations that we've had with some people behind the scenes of some of the behavior, it made me see him in a different light, which has affected how I listen to the music now. Whereas I used to, it was Jay-Z, it was everything Jay-Z for me. But I kind of separated him from some of the things that I experienced with other artists that were more my contemporaries because I thought it was different, but it's no difference. It's what I was saying last night with Drake. The things that we criticize Drake for, but 9 out of 10, most artists are doing that in some kind of capacity to somebody else. You know what I mean? Mm. I see Rick Ross, and I like Rick Ross. He come at Drake and say, Drake, do this, and Drake. Rick Ross do a lot of stuff, too, that people don't like. You know what I mean? So it ain't no difference. You know what I mean? Y'all just don't hear about it, So.
You're right. Shout you out, Drake. Thank you very much. Tim says, IG said it couldn't send because you don't follow me. Try Twitter. I don't think Twitter's the same. Probably the easiest way. Or my email is just in the bio description on my YouTube channel. You can email me too. Appreciate that. LOM Nigel with the crossover. For Stat, who a young rapper who you like their pen? Wise Boy, Jeremy 22 is mine.
Marco Plus.
I'll be right back.
Marco Plus out of Atlanta. I don't know how. I think he's young though, fairly young, like 19 or 20. But he's remarkable. He's one of my favorite coming out right now. And I wish y'all blew him up. You know what I'm saying? I wish he was like spoken about a lot more. He kind of reminds me of J.I.D when I first heard J.I.D in the beginning. You know, J.I.D is 30-something years old now. Like he's like 34, 35. He's not a young rapper anymore. But like Marco Plus is my favorite that's coming up. It's so much good music. It's so many artists. We got a kid that works with us. His name is Don. He's dope. And you know, I was having a conversation with him one day because he's so passionate about it. We got Aaron who works with us. Aaron he's an aspiring artist. Him and Rebel, they want to do music, and I see how passionate they are about making their music. And I think I'm just so jaded because I do see what's going on with the industry, and I just see what's going on with people's interests. And so when they make certain type of songs, I just see the path of like what they're gonna have to go through to even get people to pay attention to what they're saying. And it's just frustrating for me because like I live behind the curtain. Like I have the conversations. I've been invited into the rooms, so I see the challenges that we have with the music. You know, when people say, "Oh, Drake's not hip hop," and I agree with them from a premise of if I'm just a dude talking about if I had no affiliation with the music, but Drake is hip hop for what I have had the luxury of doing because by him being hip hop and him putting himself in that category, it raises everybody else up. It makes it to where everybody reaps the benefit of his success because it goes into say, okay, hip hop made this amount of money this year. So it allows artists that are like Marco Plus that are trying to come up in the game to actually get reasonable revenue for the things they do. So that's why I feel like somebody like Drake, as much as y'all might see him as a piranha, I actually see the benefits of it because it actually helps everyone else that's doing this in the infrastructure. So it helps the business. So that's why I'm an advocate. No, do I agree with some of the things he said? I don't agree with everything anyone says. And I definitely was riding with Kendrick in this battle. It's not even a question. But I do understand how necessary he is for the young and up and coming artists, for the industry, because I want people to be getting paid.
Word up. Appreciate you, Nigel. LLM Nigel. We have a news update. Drake is now reportedly the biggest independent artist in the world. Hits Daily Double reports that Drake is believed, with quotes, to have fulfilled his contract with UMG after releasing 3 new albums.
Yeah. That won't last long, though.
Well, do you think he's going to take this, what's it called? This private equity money? Bees on the table. Bees on the table.
I think the industry as a whole will do something to offer him something to where he's not independent. You realize if Drake puts out an album, right, independently, this ain't like Kanye being independent or something. If Drake puts out an album independently, right, and with the amount of resources that he has, and he spends the subsequent resources to make sure that he still does these same numbers, do you know the damage it's going to do to the overall industry? Do you know the veil will be lifted? Then it becomes a situation where artists say, I don't need the label, I just need some money. Then what they do is instead of going to get that $1 million advance from the label, you know what they do, Justin? They build their credit up and go get that $1 million from the bank.
Yep.
And they spend that $1 million and they pay the bank back in 30 years, and the bank don't even get a percentage of their album sales. They make more money. It can get tricky. It can get tricky. That's why if I'm Drake, I got armed security everywhere I go. I'm not even going to the bathroom without somebody with an AK-47. I'm not eating any food that's not prepared by my mama. Dog, when I tell you he can slip up and fall and catch a cold any day now with what he got going on, and y'all want him to and through all this, y'all want him to jump out there and go against MAGA right now? Oh no, he's not doing that. He just seen your man. Dog, they ain't playing. Hey, Justin, it's serious.
Dog, that's what I said last night on Culture United. I said, if I'm Drake right now, you know, with this UMG lawsuit that's going on, with all this other stuff, the White House does this thing, you know, I'm not saying anything either. Like, I said that, if I'm Drake, I'm not saying that, right? Like,
he is Canadian. And y'all saying, why is he running around with this white dude? He better do that. He better lean on the powers that be. That's what's keeping him alive. Do you know what he's battling? First of all, America don't have too many exports. We don't export too many things. Hip hop is one of the most homegrown things we got. That's our industry. The record business, the movie business. This is one of our biggest exports. It's very rare. It's only a couple of artists that came over here and took over the Beatles, Bad Bunny. Like, you know what I mean? For the most part, Michael Jackson, Prince, these are Americans that have went elsewhere. So now you got a Canadian, right? He's a Canadian. Don't get it twisted. He's a Canadian. You got a Canadian basically taking on the whole industry, a $1 billion industry. What? Hey, boy, listen. Oh, boy. If I'm Drake, I'm calling the A-team. I'm getting a time machine. I'm bringing them back up. Because I'm telling y'all, if that boy slip and fall, don't be surprised if he slip and fall. Do not be surprised by that, because this is dangerous territory. If he drop an album independently, and people just like say, okay, yo, we're gonna support it, and he put the money where it's supposed to be, like Kanye West. Kanye West said, I spent $3 million to go number one with that song. What if Drake say, you know what? I'm gonna go do a deal over here. I'm gonna get 20 million. I'm gonna dump 20 into it. He come with 4 or 5 number ones and have his biggest release and it's independent. Whole industry shifted, dog. Now you can't go dump. Now you can't dangle that little money in front of a kid's face, because he's gonna be like, nah. Well, I know Russ did that, but no, this Drake thing is different. I could still be one of the biggest stars in the world. I don't need a label. All these buildings with all these people in it. Man, listen, boy. If you're living dangerously, you're living too dangerous for me. I'm living dangerously.
It's all happening. It's all happening.
Getting dangerous.
This next one from Terry Horde says, Iceman was okay. I can't take him serious with the tough talk. LOL. While being romantic with my girlfriend, I decided to put on Habibti. She didn't like the first track. She didn't like one track, excuse me.
If you getting romantic with the Habibti, what kind of relationship y'all got over there?
Who else would that album be for?
This dude, dog, listen, that's not you trying to get her to break up with you, player. Wrong. Let me suggest you some other records. This is some Anita Baker. Get some real loving in there. Some Luther. You know what I'm saying? Get you some real. Don't put the Drake on, baby. Get 112. You know what I'm saying? Jagged Edge. You know what I mean? Get you some real Faith Evans' first album. It's a bunch of stuff you can listen to, baby. A lot of stuff. Not Habibti. You know what I'm
saying? Who is Joe Scott?
Ooh. You know that album barely sold like 3,000 records the first week, and then it went on to go platinum. That's what I mean. Like, things used to build up.
Right.
Like, shout out to Michael Jordan for investing into that. People don't know that. He was one of the big investors in that.
And who is Joe Scott?
Yes.
I didn't know that. What happened with
that? The guy the label that the JV, he needed money to finish it. Michael Jordan funded some of it.
That's dope.
That's something y'all should look up. Shout out to Michael Jordan.
Yeah. That's one of the best scenes in Say the Last Dance when he's on the bus. He was listening to R&B. He's like, Michael Jackson, Michael Jordan on the bus. Well, which R&B singer was that he was jamming to?
I don't know. I think he said, who did he say? Was it Anita Baker?
Nah,
I think it was Anita Baker.
Nah, that was a different one. Give it all you got. That was after he hit the shot against Cleveland. Michael Jordan,
I remember that they came on the bus and he was listening to it.
R&B on the bus.
What you listening to?
Kenny Lattimore.
That's what it was. It was Kenny
He was
Lattimore.
Kenny Lattimore. He was like,
Lattimore.
Kenny Lattimore. It's brand new. No one has it yet.
Nobody has it yet. He was bragging.
That was cool.
Mike was bragging.
Yeah, man. He loves some R&B.
Yeah,
Stun Gun 48. Shout out to Sandman and Aesop. Miami Lice is dope. So dope. So dope to me. It's definitely a top 10 project I've heard this year so far.
That album is dope.
Yeah, it's really
Just
dope.
to put me on it, I ain't know nothing about it. That album's dope.
Yeah, it's fresh. VR Boots Life says, Stat and Justin, do you feel Keem dropped the best album this year so far, stat production ear-wise as well?
No.
I don't think so. I think honestly, I think Miami Lice is better to me. I think Nick Grant's album is better.
Nick Grant's better than that.
Yeah, I think Isaiah Rashad is better than that, to be honest.
Isaiah Rashad's better. I think Don Toliver was better than that.
Don Toliver, that album is crazy.
Yeah.
But Keem definitely has one of the best albums that came out this year, I'll say so far. But just from an album standpoint, I think everything we named, I think, fits in that category.
Yeah.
Unc Ditto, comments for the algorithm. Good job, fellas. Thank you, Unc Ditto. Appreciate that.
Appreciate that.
Il Magic 94 says, where would y'all rank Tetsuo and Youth? Within Lupe's catalog or overall? I'll say within Lupe's catalog. I think it's his best album, to be honest. You know,
That's crazy. I gotta hear that.
Yeah, if we take it outside of, you know, the commercial aspect of the rap industry, I think it's actually his best album. So, but I also think that Food and Liquor, The Cool Tetsuo and Youth, you could swap those out, you know, a lot of ways.
I'm spending some time. This weekend will be dedicated to me listening to Lupe's the whole catalog.
Yeah, go through it.
I'm gonna go through it.
Yeah, and if you listen to some of those mixtapes too, because the mixtapes is just other work. Like what he did to other people's songs, gosh, it was crazy. Thanks for that, Il Magic. We got another one from Il Magic. Says, have you guys been listening to Big K.R.I.T's latest project? And first of all, I think he just released a deluxe version of it because it came out at the end of last year. I can't think of the name of it, but what's that song? Going downtown, made it, can't rate it, said I can't rate it. I'm looking like the latest, greatest, can't rate it, chop, rated, said it, it's rated, going down, elevated, rated, can't rate it, said I wouldn't rate it, I didn't like the latest, looking like the latest, greatest, it's rated. Downtown, elevated. That song is so crazy. Oh my God, it's a great album. It actually really is a great album, and I think it. You know, I wish I had more promotion in it. I wish it traveled farther. But the Big K.R.I.T album is actually one of my favorites of the past 6 months, I'd say.
I like Cadillac, like Cadillac, like Cadillac, like Cadillac, like.
Right.
What's this? Love that song.
Yo, the K.R.I.T album is actually really dope. Hold on a second.
K.R.I.T dope, dog.
Yeah, here's my library.
He went independent too fast though.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, because somebody made a comment about Prince and Radiohead, right? Because they were independent and then changed the industry. This is the difference is when they was talking about Drake being independent, Drake is still somewhat, in a lot of people's mind, not mine, but in a lot of people's eyes, he's still one of the bigger artists. You know what I mean? As far as his prime, and his sales. So somebody that's coming off of selling 700,000 records in the first week now is going to be independent. Prince and Radiohead, it was a different type of thing. And then I think Radiohead, as big as they are, when you compare like lifelong sales, Drake is a lot bigger of an artist than Radiohead. Not saying Radiohead's more transcendent, more impactful. Prince is more transcendent, more impactful. But we're just talking about over, just being mainstream. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
For sure.
Right.
dollars and cents, especially on streaming.
Yeah, but that Big K.R.I.T album is actually really good. It's called, I always pronounce it weird, Cataly Biariz? I don't know. But I-20 is crazy. Everlasting Speaker Knocker, I think it's called. Elevate. Probably the best run in the album, but I love that. It's actually an album I go back to more than I expected to, because I don't go back to that many albums. I always listen to everything that comes out, and if something is dope, I add it to, I just started becoming more of a playlist person, and so I put all the albums that came out that I like within a year into one playlist, and I run them on shuffle just all the time, and that gets me closer to like, okay, what do I actually like versus how many times am I skipping through this stuff? Like, I put Russell on there at the beginning of the year and took Russell off not too long after that, you know what I mean? And not as a knock, it's just like I noticed every time a song came on, I was skipping it. And then, so I'd be like, oh, let me take this off the playlist. Okay, let me take this off the playlist. And I looked up and it's like, actually, I removed the whole thing from the playlist, you know what I mean? And it's not a knock, it's just, that's just actually organically how I decide what I like. Like, I'll put a whole bunch in the playlist and then I'll take out, and I don't like this one, I skip it all the time. And then it whittles it down. And so this one is still standing strong.
Man, not to bring him up, but I feel like it's over for LaRussell, man. I feel like that he had his brief little run. I feel like it's over for the kid, man. That's messed up, man.
I don't think so. I guess, look, I think more than anything else, one thing that you can see in the music industry is a lot of people finding ways to pivot, but he was an independent guy in the first place. So if anything, he is where he was with more money. You know what I mean? If I'm him, I'm not sure I'm that bad. If I'm him, I'm not sure I'm mad at that. But it really is unfortunate that was a lot of people's first real look at him. People had heard about LaRussell, but we didn't know anything about him for the most part. At least most people didn't know anything about him. And then those were just two very polarizing initial looks.
Can I tell all my third verse people something a birdie told me? Well, I was told that he's not even signed. He didn't even do a deal with Roc Nation.
Right. Yeah. No. It was just distro, I think.
I was just distro, and he just wanted to have a picture taken with Jay-Z to make it seem like it was a deal with Roc Nation. So he's not even signed to them, or it's just distro. So that whole people think that he signed a Roc Nation, and this money that he so-called got, he didn't get anything. Just a meeting and a picture.
Well, I think he was an investor in Even, though. I think he got money with that.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think that's where he got the money from.
I'm just talking about, a lot of people thought, oh, he signed Jay-Z, gave him a big check. Yeah. You know how that shit go. Right, I don't think that happened at all.
Right. Appreciate that. Ill Magic 94. This next one up here is from Down to Earth 83. Y'all mad because Drake don't rap like a civil rights leader. A post on Threads from a member of OVO MAGA. Meanwhile, voting rights are literally being gerrymandered away from black folks right now this very second.
Whoa. Hold up. Wait.
She's not saying it to us. She's quoting someone else.
Okay, I was about to say, 'cause I'm definitely not mad. I'm like, hold on. Whoa. Yeah, I'm not, whoever said that. And let's get this correct. Like, what's going on? Like, hey man, hey, check this out. I don't want Drake. I want Drake. I know exactly who he is. I listen to the songs. It's some of his fans that don't listen to the songs. I know exactly what he wants. I said it on the last episode. He wants to sleep with dudes' baby mamas. He wants to eat at expensive Italian restaurants. He want to talk about that how much more that he got from us than everybody else. He want to not look at himself in the mirror. You know what I'm saying? Like, and push his problems off on somebody else. He want to talk about his relationships, his failed attempts at relationships, how he got his heart broken, and how everybody's using him. I know exactly what he wants. I listen to the records. It's some of the fans that don't be hearing it. I hear all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Now, somebody like Kendrick, that's a harder person to figure out what he wants. It's very dynamic. You know what I'm saying? It's very like, wait a minute. Is he talking about himself, or is he speaking from somebody else's perspective? It's a different animal. You know what I mean? But with Drake, we know exactly what he wants. He's doing exactly what he want to do. But, what's crazy about him is the way he's approaching it, though. He's actually being a revolutionary, whether he wants to or not. because his stance against the music industry is going to lead to the same result that if he was up here screaming "fight the power" and they thought he was powerful. That you get what I'm saying? It all ends the same way. This guy back here had a revolutionary conversation, Malcolm X, right? But it messed with the status quo of what's going on. What Drake is doing right now is fumbling with the status quo. And when you fumble with that, they're going to fumble with you. There you go.
This next one right here is from Brown Girl L. Says, love you, little bro, but you're always saying something out the box.
Oh, yeah, you know, I definitely live out. Take a hit with the box, put it to the lip with the box. Roll up the whole damn seal. I'm going to get lazy.
Yo, that's a great song. That is a great song.
Oh, man, come on. Shout out to Roddy Ricch. Hopefully he's still managed by my homeboy Tubby. I think Tubby still got Roddy. If not, yeah.
Shout out to Dan Matt. Says, Stat Quo, stop apologizing. I like your honesty. Be yourself.
I'm gonna keep being myself, but I apologize to some of the people in the chat because I want y'all to stick with me because this is the beginning of our journey. You know what I'm saying? This Third Verse podcast, though we've been filming it for a year, but we just put it out the top of the year, so we're like 5 months into it.
Right.
But we just beginning this, and I want y'all to stay with me and watch me grow, so y'all can look back and say, "Man, you remember you said this? Look at how you feel now." I'm like, man, y'all made me a better person. I see things differently.
That's what community.
I'm not stuck.
The power of community.
Absolutely.
Blue Slides 24. Justin and Stat are like the hip hop version of Nightcap with Justin as Sharp and Stat as Ocho.
Really? Okay.
I guess maybe I read the super chats. I guess that's why.
We'll take it.
I like it though. I mean, this show does have that kind of feel to it. You know,
I like Nightcap.
Yeah, Nightcap is good. Put it on vinyl. Every time I look at this, I just read it so funny in my head when I look at this name. Put It On Vinyl says, question for y'all, who decides what genre, song, album is? Are there guidelines? Is it the artist, the label, some third party?
Well, you can pick it yourself. Go ahead, Justin.
Yeah, I mean, generally speaking, for the artist, if you're just putting it in the marketplace, you can put it, where you want to put it. But when it comes to awards consideration, that's where it's a little different. So at the Grammys, they have committees of experts that are within each genre, and they go through and they review, 3-ring binder with every song that was released that year. We're talking tens of thousands of songs a lot of times. And people have to go, everybody gets in a big room and they go through these songs to make sure that things that are tagged or labeled as that genre should be included actually in that genre. And so what'll happen is, but every room kind of has a different way they want to look at it. So country would look at it like, okay, well, are you culturally Nashville country? Which is why Beyonce struggled so much for so many years, getting into the country category. Hip hop has evolved quite a bit. The rap category has evolved quite a bit over the past. Rap has always looked at everything from a Grammy standpoint as like, okay, we want to be solid and cohesive in what the culture is talking about. We don't want to segment things in the same way that you might see in contemporary rock versus, modern rock or whatever it is, classic rock. Whereas other genres don't necessarily do that. So one of the big things that happened at the Grammys that still comes up a conversation internally, which is funny, is I'm yet to meet someone in the Recording Academy who was proud of the fact that Christina Aguilera won a Grammy for Best Rap Collaboration. But it makes sense because Redman's on the song, but it just looks funny that Christina Aguilera has a Best Rap Collaboration award, right? So these kind of things shift, but the point is, if you're looking at it from an award standpoint, it's a bit different than if you're just tagging whatever song is on your own, because you can kind of select where you want to put things.
And I agree with everything he said.
That's our last super chat right there.
Well, there it is, everyone. We appreciate you for coming out, man. Shout out to Justin for being a trooper. you know, doing Culture United so late. And we appreciate y'all, man. Shout out to everybody that was in the chat today. Any last words? Subscribe to the channel, please. Rock with us. You know, any last words, my brother?
Yes, I do. Third Verse Podcast every Tuesday and Thursday, 8 a.m. right here on this same channel. Tuesday, totally different experience. The in-studio experience is priceless. It's classic. You never know who's going to walk through that door. And as the show continues to progress, you'll be shocked by who walks through that door. And then we come back again on Thursday right here. And in between, you get a little Culture United. There is a network being built right before your eyes. So when Stat talks about how this is an opportunity to continue to grow with us, I think we're all going to be very excited about the inevitable approaching. And so thank you guys so much for supporting us as always. We will catch you on Tuesday. Oh, shoot. We have to figure out this members only stream. We got to figure out the members only stream.
Well, let's do it tomorrow.
All right, I can do it tomorrow.
When you finish volunteering.
I feel like we gotta let's give people a heads up. Let's give them like at least let's talk about it. We'll talk about it today, and then we'll put something on the community section and let you know exactly what day it's going to be.
Yeah, so
but it's definitely going to be within this next week. Yeah,
get your memberships if you want to be down. I'm probably going to be a little bit more candid on there because it's to the community, so I'm going to be a little bit more free, if you will. You know what I'm saying? So if you're a member, you know what I mean, you'll hear some stuff that everybody don't get to hear about. You know what I'm saying? Talking. You know what I mean? This won't be on FCC airwaves. So
word up. The third verse.
Whatever you wanna know, whoever you wanna see, the place you all need to be, the place you can't leave, the seed that plants seeds, the place you allowed to talk free. Whatever you wanna know, whoever you wanna see, the place you all need to be, the place you can't leave, the seed that plants seeds, the place you allowed to talk free.